Direction, choose your own path.
You know, this is the home of We Major, Me Frosty, Unfamous, and the restricted clothing brands. Let's get it.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
Direction, choose your own path.
Don't just wear anything. Wear garments that mean something. We got hats. We got sweatshirts. We got jackets. We even got hoodies. Let's not forget our classic tees. Direction, choose your own path.
The message is always in the cloth, the colors, the designs, the fit. Basic. Pay attention, stay alert, and remember, choose your own path.
It's a stampede! The stamp.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. DJ Hampton Stampede, we in the building. Project 2025, executive orders on deck. Let's get it popping, man.
Wow.
Sean, what's popping?
Wow.
Yeah, what's good, y'all? How's everybody feeling?
What's goody? You all right?
Nah, not really, but we here, you know.
Yeah, it is what it is, right?
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that.
Man, Ren, what's shaking?
Feeling good, man.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling better than I look, anyway.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Wow.
John, what up, though?
Perfect.
All good. I agree with Aaron's sentiment. Hope you feel better.
Indeed,
Yo,
indeed,
yeah,
indeed.
All good at the time, man. You know, like I told you before, just nursing the shoulder. Everything's all right right about now.
Indeed, I gotta get one of those.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Yes.
Jay Lynn, what's popping?
What's up?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Everything's everything.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this show all week. Feel me? I'm excited to see what's what. Feel me?
You excited about politics? That's weird.
Yeah, man. I'll be trying to learn. You know what I mean? Because what I deduce from what I read may be incorrect, right? Especially given my my disposition regarding white people. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You know what I mean? You can always be learning. You know, Albert Einstein said, "Once you stop learning, you start dying."
Your
That means that
Discord is going off.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
What did you
Jalen.
say, John?
Somebody's Discord is going off.
Oh, it's probably mine.
I said that might mean we see dead people in the chat at times then.
I see what you did there, John. I see what you did there. Let's see who in the chat and we get it popping, man. Salute to the 80 people in the building so far. Make sure the likes match the viewership. Mr. Williams, what's popping? Salute. Mel, you already know. The Majesty in the building, of course. Miss Bells. Dollar Washer was popping. I like it. Judah, Shalom, Ak was goody. Good to see you, of course. Homeboy, Shalom, was good. Keeps it 100. Good to see you. Good evening. Nas, what up, though? I like it, man. Jarice in the building. Black Seinfeld in the building was popping. James, what up, though? Quincy in the building. Salute. Dina was popping. The Villa in the building. I like it, man. Like, share, subscribe. Aaron, what's good, family? How you? Frank White, what up, though? Quan in the building was popping, kid. John Henry in the bill. Oh, he's in the chat. Black Lexicon was good, man. I see you in a little bit, man. Hope all is well. You heard? Melly Mel was popping. I like it, man. Young Money in the building. Good evening, man. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. All right, man. It's fantastic. What's goody?
Yo, what up?
It's crazy. That's an XL.
What?
That shirt you got.
Yeah.
You know, mine fit a little bit more tight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What you feel about that? You feel away?
No, not at all.
Stop trying to be mature, my nigga. Like you talk shit any other day, but now we talking politics. You trying to be more mature than I am.
No, I'm trying to. I mean, we don't want to get into like the whole anatomy thing. You know, I'm more of a giraffe. You more of like a turtle. So I mean, I tried to. If you want to
drop them, YouTube.
If you want to do this, we can do
this. Drop them. Hey man, get the likes up. Turtle.
I tried.
Turtle is disgusting, bro. You go too far. That's your problem.
I'm a dark skinned nigga from the 80s from Georgia, brother. I'm sorry. That's all I know.
Boy, if you don't. Hey man, get the likes up. Let me see. DJ Smoke, Dallas. I got Quan already. Okay, all right, we good. Serving the Yah, Shalom was popping. Damn, all right. Herb passed. That's what they said. Herb got up out of here.
Yeah, Herb like 54 or something, man.
Yeah, I'm looking it up now. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Player dead after the stroke.
Yeah, between that shot and motherfucking Ozempic, nigga, in 30 years, everybody gonna be on mesothelioma commercials, bro.
Irv got a touch dirt today.
Yeah. Out of there.
Oh,
damn, son.
Damn, he's the same age I am. Shit.
Yeah, 54.
Yo, 50 is I saw 50 with 50 posts. I'm like, 50 is. He said, damn, I want this Irv to see my new shows. I'm like, 50 don't give a damn, son.
That nigga ruthless, beyond ruthless, bro.
How can he still be that? He's old as shit, bro. He don't care. Damn, man. John, what up? Mr. Austin, what up? All right, man. Hit the like button if you can. That helps the channel the most. So, I was thinking, man. What you think, Jalen? Should we go Project 2025 or should we visit those executive orders first? We have to get a thorough understanding. Everybody who hear you have to have your listening ears on. All right. What
I
you
mean, I have
think?
a wheel.
Let's do. Oh shit! Let's do the wheel.
Wheel.
Let's
You
get
know,
it, man.
you corny like that. You like wheels, so I made you one.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said. Damn, boy. That's way better than my shit.
Of course,
Damn.
all my stuff is better than yours. Anyway,
You want
you want me to spin it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Lionel was popping. Oh shit, my fault.
Damn.
Oh man. Okay, this one.
Yeah,
So this is
it did you right.
critical race theory executive order. Listen. I always hear people talking about, we always talking about vaginas and penises, right? Mr. Fantastic and Aaron can attest. Every time we don't, right, the support seem to be a little bit less than when we do. Okay. So I just want to call that out for everybody who acting like they love to talk about other shit. I assembled this panel very meticulously. I selected these people and they were kind enough to oblige me by showing up today. You know what I'm saying? So these people are into this. They read up on this. They study it. They understand it. They have very strong viewpoints. If you hear, definitely put your viewpoints in the chat and in the super chats, and let's see what we can figure out in regards to these EOs and Project 2025. Critical race theory on deck first. Sign an executive order to defund K through 12 schools that teach critical race theory. What's up, Blue Jay? Race theory, or in quote, radical gender ideology, end quote. Let me read this. Harkening back to his first term, boogeyman narrative surrounding critical race theory, Trump on January 29 signed an executive order that any K through 12 schools teaching race, radical gender ideology, or critical race theory to students who will be defunded. Federal funding accounts for roughly 14% of the funding of public schools from kindergarten to 12th grade. Chacho, Ms. Best was good. According to the executive order, Trump's aim is to shift focus back to excellence and patriotism, end quote, preparing students to become patriotic citizens ready for the workforce, not political activists. The executive order mandates that within 90 days, the Secretary of Education must present a strategy to eliminate critical race theory, or CRT, and radical gender ideology in school lessons. Additionally, the EO reinstates the 1776 commission created by Trump in 2020 to, quote, promote understanding of U.S. history and its founding principles, end quote, with, quote, patriotic education, end quote. Former President Biden had ended the commission during his first 100 days in office. What's up, Woody? Now, it keeps pinpointing radical gender ideology. Is that how you surmise critical race theory?
It's a part of it.
Okay.
No.
Jalen, zoom us in a little bit. The one to the right. No, yes. Well, so it's a portion, but that's not the summation.
It's a branch. So that's why I said or. So it's a branch of it.
But if you get rid of critical race theory, they saying get rid of the entire idea, correct?
Yeah.
Including whatever. So, okay. So can somebody, we're going to look up the definition. Sean, are you familiar with CRT?
Yeah, the parts that I care about. Yeah.
Break down the parts that you care about if you don't mind.
So the main thing is it really talks about how America and white people are inherently racist.
Okay.
That's the main part that I care about, which is true. So they don't want that part to be taught to younger kids for some reason. They want to rewrite that history or erase that history.
Okay. So that's included. Mr. Fantastic, you seemingly disagree. Tell us why.
That's to say that a race of people are inherently racist is wild. But yeah, that's him saying that is the exact point of the problem with it. You telling black kids that they can't get ahead simply because they are black, and white supremacy is white people and white privilege and all these different things. has them focus on, you know, their underprivileged and all these other things and so on and so forth versus the education. He just made a report today, and I'm pretty sure you probably come up with that. It's probably another thing, but it ties in to you know, defunding or ending the Department of Education. America has the most money per pupil, but we're almost dead last. We're 40th now out of like all of like the, you know, first world countries or industrial countries. So if we're paying all of this money, the highest per pupil, but our kids aren't learning, why would you put critical race theory in here versus the actual curriculum they need to learn to be not only successful, you know, further on in life, but so we can compete in the world when it comes to the things that actually matter. Racism is never going to go anywhere. So the white man is bad, the white man is bad, the white man is bad. That's cool. I'm not saying that, you know, the white man's by all means not perfect, but the white man now is not the white man of, you know, 1776. And that's the problem.
So I get what you're saying, right? But does that mean, so do you think that America has a history that's built on racism?
Built on racism? I mean, that's, be more specific.
You're thinking too hard about that, bro. Pause.
No, I have no, because it's like you're very well at asking like pinning questions or whatever. So that's why, be more specific. What do you mean?
Okay, cool. That's all right. So do you think in order to go somewhere and colonize that place, do you think that's a good thing?
I think that's a successful way in conquering. I would prefer the word conquering. So conquering places has been done more than places other than America. So everyone have conquered places. That's why we have the society we have today, because they were conquered.
Gotcha. So okay, so if I want to teach these people, these unremarkable Caucasians and Spaniards, whatever you want to call them, they came to this place where there were already people, and what they did some ethnic cleansing, and they also then subjugated those people for hundreds of years. Does that sound like an accurate depiction of what happened? Roundabout.
Yeah, it's taught. We learned that. We
right.
We learned that when we were kids. So I don't
exactly.
What more needs to be done that wasn't already done though? That's the question.
Right. The point is that they don't want that to be taught.
But that's not true.
That's true.
That's not. If that was the case, hold on. Listen what you're saying. If that was the case, we would have never learned it.
No. This is why they want to get rid of it now.
Well, no.
They don't want that type of history to be taught.
Well, no, you're not being accurate, because again, going over slavery and slavery happened has always been a part of the curriculum. The extension of it, or the expansion to it, that the white people are bad and white people are inherently racist, as you said, that's a problem. Because now you're telling people that we've never moved beyond slavery. You're telling children, and you're indoctrinating children of color, you know, black and brown, as they love to say, right? That the white man is bad, the white man is against you, but yet and still you're literally sitting in the white man's school. You know what I'm saying? You're eating the white man's, you know, so the white man is taking care of you while he hates you. So that's kind of, you know, it's counterproductive, and it don't make no sense.
All right. So if people benefit from a system that subjugates other people, would you say they're complicit?
No, they're not complicit. I mean, no, how? No, because I mean, you can't overthrow the government. So what are you saying? Every country does that. Literally every country does that. Everyone benefits from their country's reach, power, and influence, regardless. So no, you can't say that they're complicit, because you literally have nowhere to go other than like somewhere in the Amazon or some shit. That makes no sense.
So you don't think that the opposite of being for a thing is indifference?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That doesn't mean you're complicit. No, I'm an American citizen. Mm-hmm. I can't just leave America anytime I feel like it's something wrong with, I don't agree with their politics. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous notion.
Cool.
And so then, like I said, my ultimate question to you is, where am I going to go that is not going to be the same somewhere else?
Right. So I get what you're saying, right? But I disagree, because what they have an issue with is this history being taught. They don't want it to be taught that racism happened, that colonization happened.
But you already conceded to that point. That's not true.
I didn't.
Well, you have to. You have. Yes, you did. When you said that we learned about it, you learned about slavery when you were a kid, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. So that's conceding. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's not.
Let me help you out. So let me walk you through it. So you've already admitted that the lessons of racism and slavery has already been taught. As me and you learned, everybody on this panel, it's nothing new. But like I said, the critical race theory is the white man is still the same as the slave master, brother, as you said yourself. You said this, inherently racist.
So where we disagree, That was just me saying inherently racist, right? So where we disagree is what you're saying. What you're saying is, since we were taught that thing, that it go back to Hamp's initial statement. His initial statement was about them wanting to cut funding for anybody, meaning going forward, K through 12, that teaches these certain things, which means that even though what you're saying, we were taught that, which we were, they don't want it to be taught anymore, which supports exactly what I'm saying.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Mr. Fantastic, respond to why that's not true. Sean, you can retort. Then I want to get John Henry in. John Henry, you can get on their conversation if you please, or you can circle back to the one thing, the gender ideology. We can stay here because based on the definition, I didn't see gender ideology in there, but maybe I'm missing something.
Gender ideology has zero to do with.
All right, so hold that thought then, right? So I just want Mr. Fantastic, go ahead. You remember what you were gonna say?
Yeah.
And then Sean, you can retort one.
I was saying with the CRT thing, telling children that white people are currently the same as they were when slavery time, and white people are inherently racist, as you say. Even though you might say that was your point is the exact like spirit of critical race theory. Okay, so saying that and teaching children that is a problem. You're putting too much focus on an ideology of something that will never ever be destroyed, and it's not a one-way thing. Regardless of what y'all saying, so white people aren't the only people capable of being racist. Every race is capable of being racist, us included. Okay?
Nah, we're not. No, we're not. You need in order to be
Sean. Before you respond, remember you can respond to all of it, and then we're gonna go to John Henry. So I know you want to respond to the last thing he said, but I'm sure there's more. But you know what I mean.
All right. So I think what's going to be beneficial to this is looking at exactly what's being taught, and then looking at exactly what their objection is to what's being taught. Because we can't even talk about the gender stuff because that's a totally different thing that they're just conflating to make it more inflammatory. That has nothing to do with this. That's not a part of critical race theory.
Yeah, but yes, it is. Because again, let's
do this. Let's do this. Okay, that's the crux of it, right? What does that have to do with anything? This is the racism that critical race theory is. What Sean kind of framed it. Is that true? Let's mind it out. John Henry, what's your thoughts?
Gender has nothing to do with critical race theory. In fact, you could you put that back up on the screen again? What you had,
yes, sir. Crimson, what's up? Yep.
The definition.
Yes, had again, as you can see right here, critical race theory has nothing to do with gender. That is just something that's been thrown in here. That's like the kitchen sink. There's always something that's added to the pot to capitalize on people's outrage. The main thing about critical race theory was addressing the systemic racism. Now, what Fantastic is saying, he's not being disingenuous on purpose, nor is he trying to be deflective. He's focusing on one aspect of what Sean said, which is white people are inherently racist. No, that they're not. But at the same time, I'll go into detail for both you guys. That's the one thing that I see that Fantastic is stating. So I will concede that point to Fantastic, that white people are not inherently racist, because neither are black people, neither are Asian or whatever, because these things are behaviors that are learned. Racism is nothing that comes out with a child the day they enter the world for the first time. That is something that is taught. So to which I would say, yes, Fantastic in that aspect is correct. Racism or white people are not inherently racist. However, when you go back and take a look at things, when you ask the question, like saying, are black people still the same as our slaves, as our forefathers and our ancestors? No, but neither are white people as well. Because remember, when abolitionists came into the picture along the way towards the last few days, the years of slavery. Remember, Frederick Douglass also had white people who were working with him for the abolishment of slavery. So therefore, you had folks who saw that the subjugation of another human was wrong. Now, getting where we are today, to Sean's other point, yes, what they are trying to do, the conservative movement, as we see it as a whole, is revisionist history, trying to say that, oh, the people love being slaves. They enjoyed it. They learned a skill. Otherwise, how would they have learned that nonsense from DeSantis? But they learned skills. So how was slavery a bad thing? So no, that's where I would say that everything will part, but it's systemic discrimination is what still exists. That was the main part of CRT, but CRT was never taught inside of grade school. So I'll land the plane right there.
All right, hold on, Mr. Fantastic. Cool nerd, anything?
I think one of the things we got to do in these conversations, when we get definitions, I think we should really pay attention to what the definition says. Otherwise, we get into a diatribe about random stuff about what we think it is, and that's not really the subject, right? So when we address this issue, let's talk about what the actual definition is, right? So what I see in there is I see systematic racism in a part of American society. I see it talks about legal system, education, housing, healthcare, right? Those are things that critical race theory is addressing. So when we start talking about gender, it has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with white people are racist. It has something to do with, hey, if you are a person of ethnicity, specifically in our conversation, Black, how is the educational system different for you versus somebody else? When you go to a doctor's office, how are you treated differently? How is your care treated versus another person's or a white person, for example? How are you treated differently in the hospital? For example, we have with women, they have the highest rate of death
mortality.
during birth. Mortality during pregnancy, right?
15%.
Why is that the case, right? Critical race theory is supposed to address that. We're supposed to talk about those issues within society, not all white people are racist and woe is me. So when we have this argument with Sean and Fantastic, it was a false argument based off of their ideas of what they think critical race theory is, but not what actual critical race theory actually is. And we should get to that.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand it, but just for the crowd, specifically your point of contention.
My point of contention is that when people because people don't understand definitions, they start making laws about things and they start removing things from our society because they have this random idea of something which is not, right? And so therefore it hurts the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish in society. If you say you want a society that's more fair, as you say, and merit-based, as you say, then those critical things that we're addressing, such as critical race theory or DEI or whatever, those things are supposed to address that so the inequities that are in society can be pointed out and mitigated.
So before you respond to the Fantastic, I just want to clarify it. So essentially, if I were to correctly apply critical race theory, I would look at the disparity in the mortality rate amongst women, right, based on their race, and see why is there a disparity here, right?
Yes.
Is there something systemic here in terms of critical race theory, not just inherent racism from white people, right? It would be something you can pinpoint that is affecting Black people at a higher rate than other races, essentially.
Yeah.
If we talk about Black people, right?
Yeah. So example, they for the mortality rate, right? Black women get different treatment in hospitals because it's been cited that doctors tend to believe that Black women have a higher pain threshold. So therefore, when they have a complaint about something in the hospital, they tend to ignore it or don't give it as much credence.
No, 100%. We understand. I just want to make sure that what it is saying, okay, here's a discrepancy, right? Does race play a part?
Exactly.
Okay, Mr. Fantastic, what you think?
Everything he said first and foremost, there is
And
no
then John, you could jump back in, John, once Mr. Fantastic finish responding. Go ahead.
There is no finite critical race theory is just that theory. Okay, it's a fucking theory. You can add to it and take from it as you fucking please. It's literally interchangeable. I didn't interrupt. I didn't say nothing while nobody was talking. I didn't say anything while nobody was talking. Okay? So this is the thing. And when you want to say, oh, we're just going to stick to the definition, we just stick to the definition. So there's no motherfucking residuals. There's no branches. There's anything. No, that's what you do. You have a poor argument. Okay. The spirit of something is real. Just like the main crux of America. If you say, what is America? Is it America a democracy? No, it's not. But most people think it is. It's not a fucking democracy.
It's a republic,
but it's been taught over time that it's a fucking democracy when it's not. Okay. So what happens is you get narratives and shit put out here. Okay, you get narratives and shit put out here, and now people get to change it. And well, it's this, and it's really this, and it's really that. You're doing the same thing. Okay, the fucking definition includes the basis of white people are racist. That's it. Okay, that is the fucking point of it. White people are racist. All right, now to the point what you're talking about. Let's address something specific, right? So the reason why there have been reports and there have been studies done as to why black women have a higher mortality rate when it comes to births. Well, black women are more obese. Black women have more what do they call it, comorbidities and pre-existing conditions. So that's why the research has already been done. But black people want to say that it's racism, and not you too fat, okay, and you're already unhealthy, and now you're having a fucking baby. The study's already been done. But again, we start doing narratives and shit. That pain threshold shit, bro, is like some 1700 shit, bro, or some 80 shit. What are we talking about? That shit that is in no clinical what's name or proof or nothing in 2025. I'll say the last 20, 30 years. Stop it. There's not that you guys are bringing up shit from slavery times. Okay.
Well, the nominee for HHS just said that he believes that. He just
real quick, bro. So you can jump. What's up, bro? So you can jump right in.
He you can just jump.
Said hold on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, let me get this straight right now. Let's not even start it. Okay. All right. This gotta be well structured. All right. So I'm asking, if I'm trying to interject, it's for a valid reason. Okay. Now let's do this.
Well, hold on. Just can we if you make that claim, if she makes a claim saying that somebody just said it, I need
she could get in. She could get in. But I wanted to
we're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this shit to where such and such said something and you prove it. Otherwise,
substantiated. So you see, right now, I'm looking up everything, right? So I'm gonna take that name up. That's what we're gonna do, right? But Cool Nerd wanted to respond to you, and then Ro can gladly get in. All right, that's all I was trying to say, Ro. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, you already just put up the definition of what a theory is, right? So, a theory has to be tested several times. It has to have several runs. It's not just somebody just thinks of something out of their head. That's called a hypotenuse. When you just think of something out of your head and you say, "Oh, a theory," means you've tested that hypotenuse, and it's a trend that leans towards the credence of that theory. All right. So when we say that these things are part of a critical race theory, it doesn't mean it's absolute, but there's a trend that correlates with the thing that we're talking about. So
you're literally doing the same thing.
You just did that. Because right now, because in the beginning of your argument was based off of your own thought. It wasn't based off of anything that's proven.
It's a theory. So tell me, so Cool Nerd, tell me this. What part of critical race theory is proven? Tell us, enlighten us.
Like I said, it is when you take a hypotenuse and you test it over and over again.
Hypotenuse is a triangle, brother. Hold on, this is a broadcast, so you mean hypothesis. Hypothesis is a part of the triangle.
I'm sorry, hypothesis. When you take a hypothesis and you continue to test it over and over again, and it's a certain trend, that trend becomes a theory.
Okay, so what's the trend? So this is what I'm trying. And that's just
I'm telling you trends. We have just trends before.
We gotta have a dialogue so we can walk this down. So hold on,
let me reset this then. Let me reset this, right? So for instance, a trend would be the disparate treatment of black women during birth, right? So AL named that one. Mr. Fantastic had a rebuttal. Do you want to retort his rebuttal or bring up maybe another situation where CRT could be applied?
Well, he number one, I think one of the things that Fantastic likes to do is take one example, like one article, and say, "Oh, that means it's for everything, and nothing else exists besides that one article."
Okay.
You can find research that shows that not just today, not just 20, 30 years ago, but today, that still remains that black women do not get the same treatment in hospitals, and it's not just because of the obesity rate. It's because of many factors. One of which is the threshold of pain, and there's several other ones you could talk about. And as a matter of fact, I got women who are OGBYN as friends who talk about these same discrepancies that they see in the mortality rate of women during birth, and this today. And these are well-established doctors. These aren't just doctors who just came out of med school.
So go ahead, John, real quick, and then I want to get Ro in so she can get a full couple minutes. Now, Ro, before John goes, what was the name you said so I can look it up?
Don't even worry about it. I'll put everything in the back chat.
No,
for you.
give me the name. Give me the name.
It's Angela Also Brooks asked
Okay.
the HHS nominee about his comments and stating that Black people had a higher threshold, and he stated
Pain,
that
right?
he read
Pain,
some,
right? Pain threshold.
Yes.
Okay.
He stated that he read some articles on some studies in Poland that we had a higher threshold.
Let's do this. So, Mr. Fantastic, you wanted to address that? Let's address it. I just wanted to. John had a quick sentiment he wanted to share. Go ahead, John. We'll have to pull it up. Give me a second. Let John. John just wanted to share a sentiment based on what you and Cool Nerd were talking about just now. Go ahead, John, and then we'll pull up the article. Yes.
All right. So what I was going to say, people have forgotten. In 2016, there was a Black woman named Kira Dixon who died in the hospital after childbirth due to not what Fantastic was listing. Because yes, he did list things about with Black women, comorbidity, weight, and things of that nature. But what was the issue with her was that she was neither of those. She just did not get good treatment because of the fact that doctors literally looked at her and dismissed her pain. They dismissed everything that she was saying because they figured, okay, she's just complaining. So there was a lawsuit that was put in after that. Now it was settled and it hasn't really been stated. I'll see if I can get you the article because I've got a little bit of information here because the name stuck to me that because she was Black, she didn't get the treatment that was expected. And there was an episode on one of the popular television shows at the time that addressed this particular issue of Black women when they go into hospital for treatment or for childbirth, anything along those ways, and they're not given the particular treatment as anyone else would get. But that's all I have for the time. I see it here.
All right. So this right here, well, I think we can take what John said. We don't have to table it. It directly applies to what we're about to look at, right?
Cool.
So, Jalen, go ahead. Mind this out.
Okay, so basically,
Hey, enthusiasm is like a catalyst. Okay?
God. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the HHS secretary nominee. That's what Ro was talking about. And he's going through his hearings to possibly be confirmed for the position. So Senator Angela Also Brooks asked him about his claims of giving Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours. So his argument is basically not giving us the same vaccine schedule. He responded saying, a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, showed that to particular antigens that Blacks have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
Okay, so can we address and can we admit that that's not what the fuck was said? There's nothing about a pain tolerance. He's literally talking something that's actual scientific fucking proof. And you niggas say it all the time, how we're genetically different from everybody else and how black blood can be accepted by pretty much anybody internationally. So everything he said is supported by science. It mentions nothing about a pain tolerance.
Play the video. Yeah.
Okay. Let's play the video. Hey, guys, it's fantastic. We're going to try to see if we can keep this stream green. All right.
All right, my bad.
This video, Ro, or the other link?
No, the video I put in the back of her actually asking the question.
Okay.
Oh, Yahoo.
The link can access it. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Aaron with the $5 says, I wish we could focus on God and rebuilding the Black family as much as we focus on white man and his political games. Yeah, we've been doing it every Sunday. Valerie, what's up? Miss Val in the building. Salute to Miss Valerie with the 20 ball. She says, hello, everyone. Aaron with the $5 says, God said, turn back to me, but y'all want equality and reparations from the enemy. What can a white man give y'all to shut y'all up and let us get building? Salute to Miss Val for the first 20 ball of the day. You got it ready, Jalen? The video? Didn't fit. Let's look at the salute to everybody who walking in the building. Miss Bella, Michael H, J. Ali, Zagu, Reese, Keisha, Lobster, the Villa, East Side was popping. Is this it right here?
No, that's not it.
Yeah, I just gotta run through the ad.
Dr. Judy Mickovic, where you said the following, and I quote, we should not be giving Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their
shit sounds
immune system
terrible.
is better than.
I've seen this
You're gonna have
already
to
though.
pull it up.
Yeah, so speed down.
It's in the private chat. It's the second one.
I got it.
I know I already got it up, but it's not chopping on my end. I don't know if it's your
It's
connection or
Jalen computer. She got a Dell.
hold on.
I got it right here. Right? Is this it?
Yeah, you can watch and you can just pull up on YouTube. But okay, but yeah, that's it. Right? No, go down. You got to scroll down.
This?
No.
Nope.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Right there.
There you go. Won an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits where you said the following, and I quote, Black people the same vaccine schedule that's given to whites because their immune system is better than ours. Can you please explain what you meant?
There's a series of studies, I think most of them by Poland, that show that the particular antigens that Black have a much stronger reaction. There's differences in reaction to different products by different races.
So I have 17 seconds. Let me just ask you then. So what different vaccine schedule would you say I should have received? What different vaccine schedule should I have received?
I mean, the Poland article suggests that Blacks need fewer antigens than
This is
so
so
you get the
dangerous.
same measles vaccine. but
Mr. Kennedy, with all due respect, that is so dangerous. Your voice would be a voice that parents would listen to. That is so dangerous. I will
Well,
be
the
voting
truth
against
is
your
science.
nomination
That's
because
science.
your views are dangerous to our state and to our country.
I mean, do you think science is dangerous, Senator? This is published peer-reviewed studies.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So again, like I said, respectfully this time, without all the cursing, nothing was mentioned about a pain tolerance whatsoever. And what he said is supported, like he said, by peer study review. These are medical doctors that did them, and you're talking antigens, which is true. Okay, different people have different things that they react to. So you need to, if you don't know about, you know what I mean, you know, genomes and cells and mitochondria and all this other stuff, this is what happens, Hamp. People get up here and now they conflate things that are just not true. It had nothing to do with pain tolerance. This is a suggestion for vaccine scheduling, which again, like you said, is not going to be the same per race or even per person. Okay. He's specifically talking about more so the children, like younger children and things than whatever, because you know they're over flooding the babies with these things. And this is why the you know, the autism rate has went up exponentially over the last 30-40 years. So again, can I please just have someone concede the point that nothing was said about a pain tolerance whatsoever? Okay, and what he's quoting is a doctor, okay, several doctors that did studies on the actual genes and antigens that Black people need versus other people, and that's what the study found.
All right, so if I can go ahead and add to this.
Well, John, let's see, because Ro brought it up, so I just want to make sure she get a Pharaoh.
I want to address something. He did not specifically say pain, but let's be clear. When you get measles and you're not vaccinated, or you get the mumps and you're not vaccinated, that's a level of pain. You would know that. That's a level. That's a level of pain. That's why they give the children the vaccines. Now we can debate about how many or whatever the case is, but to just flat out say a study in Poland, okay, states that we as a race have we don't need to be on the same schedule because of our race.
Yes.
No.
How you gonna? Ro,
I think I'm conflating two things.
Wait. What? Ro, are you a medical doctor?
I'm not a medical doctor,
Okay,
but what you're saying don't make sense.
Wait. So let's have the conversation. Do you have any understandings of what he's talking about? Any reference?
I have an understanding of this. Let's be clear. Everybody, no matter your race, no matter your race, there are certain blood types. We only have a few certain blood types. Okay. And when you get vaccinated, yes, people have different reactions to certain things. But the reality is there have been studies, long studies, where not a scientist will tell you not to give children a vaccine because of their race. Okay? That's the only study of what you hear.
No, it's literally he literally referenced the studies
He
that you're
referenced a
talking about.
study in
Not a
Poland.
study, not
He-
a study.
he-
Again, well,
He said studies in
He
Poland.
didn't reference a study. He said studies were done. He said, I think one from Poland. So he didn't say nothing about peer reviewed or anything. He was
yes, he
he
did. He literally said
Yeah,
peer
so
reviewed
he did
studies.
specifically. Let me set.
But he didn't cite the. He
Let
didn't
me
cite
set the table.
He didn't cite anything. He
Let me
said,
set
I
the
think
table. Yeah, so essentially he said there's studies most done in Poland, and then at the end he's like, "This is science, peer reviewed," and then it
Thank
cut
you.
off. So
Can we stop?
that's what he said. That was at the very end, Sean. He didn't say it at the same time, but he said peer reviewed at the very end. At the very end.
Can I say something real quick?
Before you hop in, bro. Listen.
Yeah.
You keep the fact that you keep referencing, oh, it came from Poland, it came from Poland, it came from Poland. Okay, stuff comes from Poland, stuff comes from China, stuff comes from Thailand. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, this man is way more studied than you. Okay, and he's
Are you
literally.
saying that Kennedy is a scientist and he's
Hold
a
on.
doctor and he's well studied?
Well, no, he's not. But what he has done is he's personally investigated and helped fund a lot of investigations into. Hold on. Damn, bro, y'all emotional.
Condense it.
So what he's done is he's helped fund scientists and doctors to help look at the vaccines and how detrimental they've been since they've been ramped up since we've been children. Y'all just, bro, y'all making this political when it's not. This got nothing to do with politics.
I
This
didn't
literally
say
has to do
anything
with
about
the health.
political. He's
Hold
not
on.
a
Yes, it is.
scientist. He's
You're
not
talking
a doctor.
again.
He's not a scientist. He's not a doctor. He did not go to school.
He's working with them.
I
He's
don't care
working
what
and
he's
funding
doing.
them.
I can
He's
work with
working
him.
and
I
funding
can
them.
work with him and his moving company. That does not make me a professional mover. What are you saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying exactly what I said. I can
That makes
fund
no
his
sense.
business. I can fund his business, work with him. That does not mean that I know ins and outs of being a mover or having a business.
Okay, so now if Hamp was to sit down with you and explain the business to you because you were inquiring about, and then y'all leaving out the fact that his voice is like that because he was affected by medical whatever, malpractice or whatever the fuck. Okay, so again, you're not a doctor, so okay, well I'm not a doctor, so I don't know what blood is. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know how fucking lungs work. I'm not a doctor, so I can't have no fucking medical opinion whatsoever. Get out of here, bro. This is why I say y'all want to be super strict and whatever. The man works hand in hand with these people, and he has the people to lean on. He's not going to be the end all be all.
All right, let me do this now, Rob. I want to get you in. John was trying to say something before Ro had her opportunity. Go ahead, John. Then we'll get Rob in. Alex, what's popping?
Yeah, I was going to say that Kennedy has been found. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Just saying hi.
I was just saying hi.
Yeah, so Kennedy has been found to be a major spreader of misinformation. Fantastic. So I'm not sure how familiar that you are with Robert F. Kennedy. I don't know if you're folks from the last 4 years or 8 years, but he has been found to have been one of the folks who has been responsible for a lot of disinformation about vaccines. So
can you give an example?
COVID. Actually, let me go and take a look right now, but he was already cited for the vaccine misinformation about
For the Samoans, right? For the Samoans, John Henry.
So hold on. So that's what I'm saying. So you need to be specific because a lot of the things that were said to be misinformation when the COVID vaccine first came out has proven to be true. So now that's why I'm asking you to reference. That's why I'm asking what to reference you specifically. There's also another senator. I forget who he was. He was a medical doctor, and he was going hell and ham because he didn't know what he was talking about. Huh, Rob?
Rand Paul.
Yeah. No, not Rand Paul. It's not Rand Paul. This guy, not Rand Paul. This guy's an actual doctor. I forget who
he is. The doctor.
In the chat know it. Somebody know in the chat know it. Put it there. But he was literally going down the thing and saying how the federal government shut him down and Congress shut him down because he did not agree with their regimen for taking care of the COVID situation.
Okay, so
go ahead,
John. Let's condense the points though. That way people can respond directly. Go ahead.
So basically, I'll need to go back and grab it because there are articles that were coming up
Jesus
constantly,
Christ,
peer-reviewed, stating that Kennedy was misinforming. So no, he is not a medical doctor. He never has been. But because of his name and his influence and also money, he's been able to associate himself with a lot of people who were called out for being vaccine and medical frauds. So I just want to make sure that we put that out there. I can see it for right now.
So one of the things he said that environmental toxins in the drinking water are linked to gender identity in children.
He was talking about the frogs.
Yeah. So atrazine. Whoa. So atrazine is what he's talking about, and where there's plenty of people that have the same thing. So you guys talking about this stuff that I already covered, and I know what I'm talking about. So it has been shown to have a gender changing in other animals and so on and so forth, and increase estrogen in boys. So what are we talking about?
Lots of things can increase estrogen, but that has nothing to do with your gender.
Well, it literally does. Estrogen and testosterone.
No, it doesn't change your gender, bro.
We both have estrogen and testosterone.
We have estrogen in us. Like,
yeah. But again, if you get a hormonal imbalance, that could have an effect on your brain and then your association with your gender. So what are you talking about? Again, it's a theory. It's a theory.
It's not how it goes.
It's a tinfoil hat theory. It's not a theory. A theory is
everybody loves calling everything tinfoil hat until it gets proven.
At best, it's a hypothesis. It's not a
What
theory.
What it would essentially lend itself to is gender identity, right?
Yes,
so now,
identity.
But we don't believe in gender identity. We know that you're a girl or you're a boy. I guess that's the point,
that's what we're saying. You cannot believe it all you want, but
again, we don't believe it. Like we know if you're a boy, you're a boy. That's what you know what I mean.
I found a list, y'all. I found a list for reference to some of his theories.
Okay,
he has promoted.
Real quick, Alex. So Sean had jumped in, which is fine. So solid. What up? Rob was trying to get in. Rob, do you want her to go over the list, or you wanted to address something?
I just wanted to go over some. I think y'all was conflating two things. What's up, everybody? By the way,
what's good?
We talking about Black women in pain and hospitals.
Let's get back to that.
That's very well documented. All you have to do is Google Black women pain hospital, and there are multiple articles that pop up that come up and say Black women experience disparities in pain management in hospitals, including misdiagnosis, undertreatment, and inadequate pain medication. It happens all the time. My niece, who had a procedure, she was telling them that she was in pain. Oh, you'll be okay. The doctor being here pretty soon. No, motherfucker, I'm in pain. Like that type of stuff, just like the microaggressions. So that's one issue. So that is very well documented. Robert F. Kennedy, I guess it was in Samoa. When he went, he basically told them that the polio vaccine was, don't take the polio vaccine, it's shit. And then there was an outbreak of polio not too long after he left. Now, I don't know how crazy that is, but that did happen. So now he is very now, but I agree with him on a lot of. I'm not 100% Robert F. Kennedy, but I will say that some of the stuff that he says is a little out there. But some of the stuff is cool, like the COVID. I never took the COVID shot because I didn't believe in it. I thought it was crap, and I had COVID 3 times, and I came out on the other side. So that's all I'm gonna say. Go ahead, Alex.
So I found a list of some of his theories or things that
you put in the back chat real quick, Alex.
Yes, on my phone. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Text it to me.
Okay, let me do that.
I'll send it to you also, Hamp. But yes, he is a known conspiracy theorist. He's always been a conspiracy theorist.
I put the ad in the back chat, Hamp, of the chief of Samoa stating that he gave them false information, and I think 80-something people died.
Yep.
Okay.
I think we should also keep in mind what his expertise is. He's an environmental lawyer. So if he's talking about things in environment, okay, cool. Maybe that's more credence to that. But when you talk about things that are like directly health related in terms of like vaccine schedules, I don't know if I can necessarily trust everything he says about that, because we got to understand this. We got to compartmentalize what his expertise is.
But not even just that. It's not even just that. When people have a bias, you got to take that into consideration. Because you can
That's
find
true too.
somebody on the exact with the same qualifications that will say the exact opposite of what he said.
And my main issue with him is that he flip-flopped as soon as he got on with Trump. So he was all about a women's body autonomy, protecting a woman's right to do to choose whatever. As soon as he got with Trump, it's
not so Rob, it's not so much about him, it's about the critical race thing in its entirety, right? So I understand you know what I'm saying? So remember, because this is about the disparate treatment and then him seeing black people different from other people and how that relates back to critical race theory. You feel me?
And I'll tell you this. So what do we say the definition
Let me read these real quick.
Theory was?
We looked it up. We can read the definition again. Let me read these real quick. Callie with the $5 says, I can't do it tonight. Huh? My attitude is sick. LOL. Great panel nonetheless. Josh was popping with the $2 says, hypotenuse, the longest side of the right triangle.
Hey, I misspoke.
Omar Smith with the $5 says, can we agree that if he a white man 70 years old, most likely he doesn't F with you or your people? LOL. Keep it simple. Tony Golden was popping, been a member for 11 months. Says, keep cooking them. Fantastic. Certain people just want to windmill and play victim. Also, when did Kimball Slice come back to Earth? Carl Anderson with the $2 says, the study is from Dr. Poland. He's from the Mayo Clinic. Okay. Jay Hayward with the $2 says, don't try to save them. Fantastic. Let them be. KP. Been a member for 5 months. Says syphilis experiment. Anyone? Wow, we trust these folks that much. Now we are cooked. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Okay.
Yeah, remember when we said in the back that when you said when you stop learning, you die? I told you we see dead people in the chat.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, just real quick. Everybody keeps using this term, conspiracy theories. You know, that's a CIA. That's a CIA propaganda point, right? That was literally put out here by the CIA to quell down truthful events, but you had to put together a propaganda campaign. The same thing that literally happened through the COVID situation. So when you say just saying the word conspiracy theorists, that doesn't hold much weight.
Yeah,
it's
so
just
I'm going
an inflammatory term.
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and disregard everything you said. Fantastic, but there's truth.
You can disregard it.
There's theories. Now, okay, you have your opinion, but fact still stands. And that's
so,
the one
so first, I need you to address the fact that CIA made that term up. So can you address that fact?
Oh, if you want me to, I will as soon as I look that up. I'm not talking to that. I'm talking about Kennedy. That's where the conversation is at. So let's
okay.
Stay
Well, you're calling him a conspiracy theorist. So what I'm trying to give you bases and educate you to you using that term is just inflammatory things to try to take away from. Hold on. Well, just real quick. No one is 100% right in anything, be it doctors, be it lawyers, be it whatever, so on and so forth. Right? No one. Right? We agree on that premise, correct?
I agree in that premise.
So you guys are trying to hold this man and act like 1,000% of everything he said is just incorrect. When again, everything he says is referenced by a medical doctor or a medical test, a medical study, so on and so forth. This is what he's going by. And whenever he does it, he gives the points and things. But we'll come back to that or whatever. It's on Alex. My bad, Alex. Go ahead. Look.
All right. So what I was going to say, fantastic. So when David Hume that said that black people are mentally inferior and claimed that he had a test to prove that as well as the bell curve, do you say that black people are mentally inferior at birth? David Hume made the statement. He was a suspect.
When was this made? And when was this made, John Henry?
This was made back in the 1800s or so.
Thank you. So John Henry, you're literally proving the point that I said. You're literally
no, I'm not. I have not proved anything.
Listen,
right.
John Henry,
I was speaking, bro. Fantastic. I was speaking.
It's kind of too focused on. So we're making these points to say what? Because we ran down a rabbit hole. Now we got Robert F. Kennedy on trial.
Well, no, let's take him off trial. Let's put it this way: that is easy to be disingenuous and mix or conflate two things together, which is what I believe either Rob or Cool Nurse, somebody was saying when we were conflating two things. So let's try and bring it back in because I think conflation has started to take over. The fact is that Kennedy is not a medical doctor, but the thing is that theories that people still adhere to, the 3/5 law of what makes a person black, something along those lines, those were theories not really proven. Thus was bigotry. That was the racism that we're talking about. Black people are not born inferior to others, but that was a science that was taught. So the fact that you have scientists who have gone ahead and say, well, we've done these studies, it's been proven within the last 4 or 5 years that some of the COVID, well, let me take back some. There is a good amount of the COVID studies that were done were bunk. And that was put in print also. Fantastic. So I'll leave it right there because, again, we're going to vary on this.
So you're agreeing with me?
No, I will agree to disagree with what you're saying with certain things. But you and I, for the most part, we do agree. But on this particular subject, I don't agree with you. But again,
I just want to address what
we gotta move it. We gotta move it because now it's just focused on him, and I'm trying to make it. Y'all gotta help me make it come back. So why? So are we just trying to say what he said regarding the black people? He just going off of anything, and then when we pull up the list,
he literally referenced what he's going off of him, and they just don't want to accept that. I mean,
do you think he's appropriate for the job?
Yes, he's more than appropriate for the job. Yes, he is.
Crazy.
Well, I don't know. Like it could be because like we get random senators all the time who are department who are
we're making disqualified.
Yeah, like that doesn't just because you're not a medical doctor doesn't mean. I'm pretty sure if we go back in history and we look at the cabinet members who are head of the Department of Health, I guarantee you the vast majority of them have no medical background.
Okay,
they're just random senators.
Yeah,
we still talking about CRT.
Well, we were talking about disparate treatment of black women in terms of medical, and then looking at different things about how black people are seen differently. The reason why we went down this road is because it was alleged that he said something regarding pain tolerance.
And can we
specifically what we looked at? He didn't mention pain. He mentioned he was talking about our reaction to antigens. And why we may potentially need less medicine injected in us than other people because our bodies react more quickly.
Which is a healthier thing, especially if when we're talking children and babies and infants.
It could be true. I mean, I don't know about that part. I just think that there are. I think the part of the going back to the critical race theory.
Now I'm gonna trust you to bring it back there, and then we also got to get to gender ideology, and is that conflated in the critical race theory also?
No,
so bringing it back to critical race theory. I think the important part of critical race theory is to be able to do those kind of studies, to be able to see what the actual trend is, and if we are being treated differently, right? And or should we actually get less medicine or more medicine, right? That's important, right? So I agree with being able to differentiate those studies to be able to actually help our community. That's cool. What I disagree with though is getting rid of that philosophy and just saying that we should be just a blank slate. Because one of the things we got to understand is there are differences. For example, the small head people, they got different diseases that are disorders that a lot of people that tend to be running their in their ethnic background that other people don't have. We
don't give a damn about no Jews.
No, I don't care about that either.
We have ones that we have a natural disposition, i.e. sickle cell, right? So what are you saying to say that essentially?
No, what I'm saying is though, to be able to study that and to make sure that we understand exactly what are things, that's part of critical race theory as well. So and that will affect our healthcare treatment. Once we understand, we should be treated differently because of X, Y, and Z.
Can we stop real quick? Like critical race theory is not being taught in schools. Right. It is a college level curriculum that they go over in college.
Law school.
What the right is conflating is anything that says anything about racism in the history of this country. They conflate that with critical race theory. If a teacher has a lesson on slavery, or she has a lesson on COINTELPRO or
okay.
They put that in the box.
And when they put that in the box, now if you eliminate critical race theory, all that gets eliminated.
You don't want to I put a whole article in the back, right? So critical race theory, the framework of it was about race being a social construct, and that racism is not merely the product of individual bias or prejudice, but something embedded in legal systems and policies. But also, this article I put in the back, it talks about how in 2020, the Heritage Foundation, yes, the same Heritage Foundation from Project 2025, how they start lumping a bunch of shit into it. And now we get my boy Mr. Fantastic up here acting like that was a part of critical race theory when any idiot can just put anything into critical race theory. So no, it wasn't. And we got the same Google. Critical race theory had nothing to do with gender.
Okay, so first off, let's address the point that it has been taught in schools, have been proven, and there were specific examples given to where children were given math problems. Okay, and they said Timmy is a black kid and Jimmy is a white kid, and because Jimmy is a white kid, he got more apples than Timmy. Okay, so it's been proven. Stop, please.
That's not critical race theory.
And hold on, wait, I didn't cut nobody off. Okay, I'm already like 1 against fucking 30. Okay, so what I'm saying is this: if you guys are going to say something, bro, be honest. Let's have an honest conversation. This has been proven. There have literally been people that come up and show it. It was the reports were given to show that it was.
Where at? Which ones? Point us to them, like you asked us. Give us the example. Where
I got you. Hold on, give me. I'm gonna find it for you right now.
So I'm learning, right? What's up, Sunshine? Salute to everybody who coming in. Shirley was goody. Miss Bella, I see you. Michael H, salute. Now, I thought that critical race theory was more thing that'll affect those people, whatever race is being pinpointed, systemically. Is it not a systemic issue?
It is.
So, okay, because when I hear Timmy got less apples, that doesn't seem like a systemic thing.
It is systemic, though. It's telling you. So it's the racial aspect of it. It's telling you that Timmy got less apples because he's black.
Because he's black, and
black
people get less.
That speaks to equity. That has nothing to do with critical race theory. That's
equity and inclusion. That's hold on.
Hey, but fantastic. You know what we can do since we have the World Wide Web? We can literally look up what the people who came up with critical race theory put in critical race theory. We don't have to listen to you or me. We can look it up.
Okay, and
some people actually created it.
What I'm going to tell you is this: there's going to be different answers depending on what source you look at.
No, it's nothing different, bro.
Yes, it is.
People created it. It can't be different.
What's the source?
Who's the person that created it?
Who created it?
It's like
who created it? Who created it?
It's like 4 people.
So look, Derek Bell, Kimberly Crenshaw, Richard Delgado, and others.
So who created it? Others don't. That what are we saying?
Hey, so look, we can just Google the shit, bro. Like I'm not.
That's what, but y'all want to Google the shit.
It's pulled up.
I already put the fact check in the back.
It's pulled up right in front of you. Like I ain't got to make this up, bro. I don't control the internet.
And this is an article.
Slow down.
Okay.
What source is this article? Wait. What source is this article?
So
what's the source of this article?
So look, if something was created.
Hold on. Let's settle the article first. Where's this article coming from?
It says educationweek.org.
So look, if something was fantastic. If something was created in the 1970s and 1980s, how else would we get to it? If we don't have a book here, where else would it be?
So are you saying critical race theory existed back in the 70s and 80s?
Yeah, Google it.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So now you get to do what you get to do is called either the Mandela effect or revisionist history and say, oh, it's something that's always been there. No.
What happened is that this is what the right does is that people make the left seem like they play identity politics when the right plays identity politics to the
well,
10th.
First off, brother, I'm not right or anything. I'm
not saying you. I'm just saying this is where they cherry picked critical race theory is that they went back and said we don't want, and you can see what Trump is doing right now with all his executive orders. They are literally trying to get rid of everything black that singles out black people or anything minority, and they try to make everything one singular freedom-loving country. They don't want anything to be said.
They want to have the Disney effect when they're telling historical stories.
That's what they want to do.
That's what they're doing.
So even when teachers have mock slave markets, because they have done that in the South, in Mississippi, in the school, they have done that where they pretended to sell black people. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that a systemic thing or is that just an individual thing?
That's a dumb teacher. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on, this is what I'm saying. So hold on, wait, this is what you and it's like.
But then you just bring up the situation where somebody was doing something in an individual school.
Yeah, so it would just be dumb teachers.
What are you talking about?
Dumb teachers. It would be
No, just the Johnny had 5 apples thing.
No, that was curriculum. Oh no. That was in a book. A teacher.
I've never seen that book.
Hold on, that's what I'm talking about. So no, you guys conflating. This is in a math book.
Yeah,
it was in a math book.
Can you show us the book? You asked for the sources. Show us the book.
And it was one book out of how many math books that people use?
No, I guess, but his point, his overarching point is that it was in the math book that's being taught. It's a part of the curriculum, so it affects the entirety of the student.
Which book? Where was it taught?
Let me
So
find
I think something that needs to be considered with the potential of the Department of Education being dismantled, this is something that has to be thought about, because with critical race theory or whatever it is that states are now going to have the ability to say, this is what I want in the history books, right? I have the ability to go ahead and say, I can tell the Disney version about who Pocahontas was in my classroom, and that's going to be okay. I have the ability to go ahead and tell the Disney version of what Thanksgiving is in my classroom, and that's going to be okay, because I don't want the white kids in my classroom to feel bad. I don't want them to know the true story about what happened with the Native Americans or the indigenous people in this country. I don't want them to know the real story about what happened with slaves in America. That is what is going to happen. That's what's going to happen.
So one of the
hold on. Can I ask the question? So where is there anything that says the curriculum that was taught pre-critical race theory? Because again, the critical race theory did not start in the fucking 70s and 80s. It did not. Okay, first and foremost, where does it say that no history of slavery is going to be taught in schools from going forward? Please tell me, show me. And the source for it is in the back.
Critical race theory did start in the late 70s, early 80s, bro.
When? Where is it? Where? Show me this. Again, bro, that did not happen.
So what I'm saying is that those people who came up with critical race theory came up with the framework for critical race theory. It is
the framework.
Hold on. So it is a college curriculum.
Stop saying that. Please pull up my source. Stop pulling up. I got the source to disprove it.
Yeah, even the source that Sean had brought up says it's being applied in lower levels of schooling. So
thank you.
Because the basic premise is racism plays a part in everything in society.
Everything we do. Mm-hmm.
So Alex didn't say, Ms. Fantastic, just to be clear, Alex didn't say that it is going to do away with. They're going to Disneyfy everything. No, so they're going to. So you remember I think it was in Texas. I saw the story. It was like something to the effect of
helpers or something. I understand that. Yes. That was corrected.
Yeah, that's what she was saying.
Again, I'm not saying, listen, you guys are trying to pinpoint isolated incidents and make it the whole. That's not true. Okay? You're trying to but when I tell you something and I have proof of mine, is whatever. That was corrected. It was addressed and it was corrected.
So one thing that CRT teaches is that a lot of the legal legislation that's been implemented to help minorities or Black people actually doesn't help us. It actually helps white people. Hence, aka a lot of people saying that DEI only helps white women or white people. It didn't benefit us as minorities. That's something that CRT teaches within its framework. So if you agree to that sentiment of DEI, then essentially you agree with some of the framework of CRT.
No.
Yes.
I don't agree with the framework of CRT because
that's literally interest. It's called interest convergence. That's literally what it's called when we're talking about CRT.
No, and you're not properly framing it. You're not properly framing it. And
I am. I'm doing okay. How about this? I'm doing as best as possible.
Only person going up against 30 people. We're not gonna do this.
Yo, I'm not doing anything.
I'm gonna ask you if you're gonna talk to me. I don't need all the extra emotes and putting your hand.
I wasn't talking to you. That's the point. I was talking to everybody else who wants to learn. Is that cool? Okay. So as I said, interest convergence is a part of CRT. You yourself, now I'm speaking to you, have said that you don't agree with DEI because it benefits white people. So in that case, you agree with some of CRT's framework, correct?
No, that's not the reason why I said I don't agree with DEI. said because it helps white people. I don't agree with DEI because I don't believe in equal outcomes. So now you false. Now thank you for clearing up and having your assumption of what I thought or what I said, and I never said that. I said black people only. I gave the stats are only 4% benefit, so it didn't really matter anyway. 4%. The whole point of it for me was I don't believe in equal outcomes anyway. And
it doesn't help us.
Okay,
That's the
so
point.
No, it's so either way. So yeah, it does help. It just helped 4%.
So if it does help, why get rid of it? Riddle me that.
Because I just told you the theory, the essence, the spirit, the purpose of it is equal outcomes. That's why.
No, it's not.
Please hold on, stop. Before we go anywhere further, okay? Pull up my screen, please, so we can show that Fantastic was fucking right for like the third time in a row. All right, and nobody wants to acknowledge it. I'm whooping y'all ass up here.
So after we look at this, I want to get Aaron 2 cents on this.
What I'm talking about.
Georgia education officials have released 4 images. Some of the math textbooks state rejected this month, citing they were references to critical race theories and prohibitive topics. Last week rejected 5,432 math textbooks publishers had submitted. The book did not comply with the benchmark student excellence, all this other shit and all that. It's here. I'll put the link in the chat so people can look at it.
So they didn't teach it, right? Because they rejected it, right? So it wasn't taught.
No, it was taught. It was in the books.
They said they was submitted. They said it was submitted.
Go back to the bar graph. Let's see what it is.
The bar graph shows differences among age groups of implicit association tests that measures levels of racial prejudice. Higher scores indicated stronger biases. Measuring racial prejudice. Hold on. Measuring racial prejudice by political identification. Can y'all see? Well, let me make it larger. Sorry.
No, we can see it. Go up though. Go up. It's good. Go up.
Yeah, we can see it. Fantastic. It's good.
Go up a little bit. Right. No, up. Yeah, forget the graph for a second. Let me see.
Are there any of the name of the books in there?
No, they did not identify the books and referred to CNN to the agency website, showing a few examples that were received from the public. It is unclear what the specific concerns were with the 4 examples.
No. That means it was so that what that actually means is people sent it in. Parents sent it in, so it was being taught.
But we don't know where it was, if it was being taught.
Where that book came from, with the title of the book or anything.
Yeah.
So anybody could have just copied that off of anything off the internet and sent it in. See, this is the problem. Hold on.
I think let me clarify. I think we got to be fair, right? So what it's essentially stating there is that people who we're going over this stuff with their kids see it and they send in these issues, right? You saying somebody plucked them from anywhere, right?
Yeah. So what I'm saying,
we can't have a so here's the problem, right? We can't have a conversation. We're gonna say, oh, well, they probably got it from outer space. Like that's. I mean, you can say that about everything, anytime, right? Just like when Mr. Fantastic say, hold on.
Oh my bad.
Just like when Mr. Fantastic say, Education Weekly is that a valid website? You see what I'm saying? When we do that to everything, then we don't have anything.
See, the problem when you talk to Fantastic is that you got to bring a gun to a gunfight, and for the reason you just said, because Fantastic wouldn't even accept that as a source.
What do you, bro?
You wouldn't, and you know you wouldn't accept that as a source.
Hold on.
You wouldn't accept that. We trying to kill the sources. Like this is on CNN, so I'm just taking it like okay. And Education Weekly makes sense to me too, though.
Did you read the actual article though, and what they said? Because what they actually said was this is what these parents sent in. So what I'll say this: before they sent that in, there was a nationwide push for critical race theory. Let's not glimpse over the fact that it was a nationwide. Where is the moms for whatever that these white women started, where they was going around to these PTO meetings, bum rushing the spot, talking about why you teaching my kid critical race theory, why you teaching my kid critical race. They were shutting down PTO meetings. It was a nationwide thing. That's why CNN had it. What they tend to do is they tend to screenshot something or send something in without the book label, without the book label, the book number, or any other evidence. They just send a screenshot of a printout, nothing else. So how can we decipher what that is?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So that day it was popular. Them trying to eliminate critical race theory. So they saying, hey, let me send this to get some attention to see if we can get rid of this. Okay, I understand that. Let me get Aaron. Aaron, what's popping, man? You ain't said anything. What you think about this right here? And I want to spin the wheel again. However, I don't want to rush it. I apologize that we talked about fucking that nigga that can't even talk for 30 minutes. And what the fuck that cracker name is. But Aaron, go ahead.
So first, critical race theory. Theories are different from hypothesis, and there was some, it was back and forth about that. Theory is based on evidence or patterns that exist previous to the formation of the theory. A hypothesis is just a guess. It's an answer to a question. Both of those can be tested, but a theory has a probability of being more accurate because it's born from previous trends and information. Now, how that relates to this, there's a difference between systematic racism and systemic racism. What used to exist is systematic racism. The definition of that is the deliberate and intentional application of racist practices. Systemic racism is simply racism that exists within a system. It is inherent to the system, but it is not deliberately driven. The systematic racism that used to exist, things like redlining, Jim Crow, slavery, right, put Black people into a bad position so that when systematic racism went away, systemic racism is the residue that's left over. For example, the reason why Black women suffer in, the things that they suffer as far as like with pregnancies and stuff is due to their
Medical
diet.
disparities. There you go.
Beg your pardon?
Medical. Go ahead.
So with Black women, for example, it can be linked to their diet is the reason why, they have some of the issues. But where did the diet come from? From traditions based in a time or created in a time where systemic racism forced us to eat things that were not healthy. And that has been passed down. Another example of systemic racism is stereotyping. Racism, this word has been tossed around incorrectly as well. Racism is simply a belief that a race is superior to another. What the word we need to be using is prejudice and discrimination, which is the act based on a racist belief, right? So stereotyping can come from racism, but the resulting act that affects the Black community systemically would be prejudice, right? Or what's the other word I use? Prejudice and discrimination, right? So these things, and they're not inherent, they're inherent to the system. They're not deliberately driven, right? People judge people all the time. We base the way we act, the way we approach the world is predicated on previous experience. That's just what it is. And if you weave stereotypes into that, then people are going to respond to you in a way that fits that stereotype naturally. And because we started out as the low man on the totem pole, the residual effect is still negative for Black people. Until there's been deliberately applied offset to systemic or systematic racism, then the residual continue to exist.
Yeah,
you have to deliberately put things in place to erase and send things the other way.
Yeah, Aaron, do you think racism is the proper term? Racist isn't?
Well, racism is just a belief, right? Of the race plays.
You see,
what is this?
Prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism by an individual, community, or institution against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. So racism is what is the application of how you feel about other people based on race.
All right, the definition I got was found in Merriam-Webster's. But yes, racism, it manifests as prejudice and discrimination, right?
But yeah, it's more of
ism
ism
is not a verb, it's a noun.
Yes.
But discrimination is a verb.
Oh, it's for action. Okay.
It's an action word, right? Exactly. So racism is what leads to prejudice, being practiced, discrimination being practiced.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the racism itself.
Exactly.
Okay. And do you, so now that you had that breakdown, do you think that's still in play regarding our people?
Systematic racism is a thing of the past. Systemic racism still exists.
And then one thing that you mentioned that I think is an interesting point is the residual effects of systematic racism, right?
That's what created the residual effect of systematic racism is the systemic racism that's left.
It's
I mean, if you look
follow-on.
at if you look at something as recent as the 1970s and 80s, and you look at the movies, right? All the superheroes were white. Batman, Superman, all of them were white. It's only recent with this Wakanda thing that we think that black men can be a hero, right? There is a systemic effect that is both the minds of young white boys and black boys. There's a certain level of confidence. They see themselves in the heroes when they wanted to go to the movies. Little black boys didn't see that shit.
Well, Aaron, if I can add,
it's a systemically imposed, not systematically, systemically imposed effect on the minds of, and it's so covert you don't even see it.
actually, back when we were kids, well, maybe before you, but in the late 60s, early 70s, Black Vulcan was one. You didn't see a lot of him. Remember, Black Lightning didn't come along to the mid 80s. You had Luke Cage as well. But these were the black superheroes that I remember when I was a kid. Now, granted,
But how many white ones could you name, and were they as mainstream?
Well, that's the point I'm saying when you're saying that there weren't any blacks.
The perception, right? The perception was that there
All
were.
don't mean all. Yeah, but Luke
Right,
Cage
yeah,
be
yeah.
losing. Luke Cage be
Horrible.
losing fights. Like I ain't never seen fucking Superman lose no fights. Luke Cage be losing fights and shit. Black Lightning can't even use this shit unless it's dark out or some weird shit. Like they powers be ass, you know.
But an example, right? But it existed, but it simply
Hey,
was
Mr.
ineffective.
Fantastic, I done said fuck the monetization. I've been cussing like a motherfucker. Go ahead, Aaron,
Right,
sorry.
but John Henry does have a point, right? These things existed, and maybe they were just pacifiers, right? Because they weren't really promoted as being the forefront of a successful superhero. This whole Black Panther Wakanda thing is an example of how to offset the Superman syndrome that we all were raised with, right? If you want to send things the other way, you got to change the paradigm 180 degrees, right? You got to put a positive end on the negative battery in order to equalize the shit.
So, okay.
So we need a Batman, we need a Terminator, we need all. You know what I mean?
So, critical race theory, as we know it to be, does it need to be deleted or do we need it?
I mean,
what would be more beneficial? It being in play or it being erased? What would be more beneficial to the country?
I think that as a curriculum, it should be taught in advanced level education because history is history after all. And if you don't teach history, you're doomed to repeat it. As far as like preliminary education earlier, anything before the high school diploma, I don't think the nuance of CRT has to be taught heavily, but I will say we need to erase the idea of some revisionist history, which is what's going to replace CRT anyway. A slave was a slave, not an indentured servant. That's something else, right? But CRT would say a slave is a slave. You get rid of CRT, now we can call them indentured servants. Bullshit.
Exactly.
Okay.
A slave is a slave.
History is history.
And if his ass got whipped, it is what it is. Teach it like that.
So,
history is history.
So you got people like I work majority white dudes from Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, West Virginia is a big one, and they go to school all white folks. When we talk, like if it ever goes to that level of talking about the history of America, they think that slavery was just we was picking cotton. That was it. They literally have no clue of the atrocities that happened during slavery. So I think that teaching actual history in this country not only benefits us and our kids, it benefits them to learn, because in Germany, they tell the whole history of the Holocaust. They don't sugarcoat that shit over there. They tell everything over there. You can't that shit that Elon Musk did, that Hail Hitler salute, he'd have been arrested in Germany if he did that shit. You cannot do that in Germany. You cannot do that in Germany. He'd have been arrested. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so
Now,
Rob
now,
said
you know what else I will say though, as far as history, we need to also teach the strengths that Black people had in the past. We can't look at everything from 1500 to 1900 as
I
a
agree.
chunk of just slavery, right?
Mhm.
Because then that will embed an inferiority complex in the minds of
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It'll
Like,
all get lost, right? Essentially.
exactly.
Yeah.
We need to tell history the way it was, and where we were strong, we need to tell it. Where we got hit over the head with honey buns and hammers, we need to tell that story as well.
You talk about the first Black billionaires, all that stuff.
It all needs to be taught the way it was.
But this is why,
Okay.
very small point. This is why we need our own independent school systems, because we arguing about what the white man should allow us to teach, which is crazy when you really think about it.
You know, I got a problem. We call the government the white man.
What?
Because we supposed to participate in that shit too.
Different conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
I think
if I
that.
could
Go
add,
ahead,
if I
Jay.
could add, if I could add in here, one of the things that not too many people realize, and again, this is going back to maybe Rob may know, Fantastic, and Aaron also, maybe even Sean. Do you guys remember who were the primary folks who provided school books back in the 80s and 90s?
You mean the publishing house, like Macmillan?
Publishing house, yeah. There you, that's my point exactly, Macmillan. Now, is anyone here familiar with the Daughters of the Confederacy?
I heard of it. I don't know.
Are you talking about the Lost Cause theory?
Yes.
Familiar now.
I just drove past the sign in Alabama.
There you go.
Yeah,
So the
Lost
Daughters
Cause.
of the Confederacy, of course, were linked to a lot of the Confederate soldiers. Some had generals, so forth, that were that they were descended from. But in the South here, one of the things that had occurred, I'm trying to find an article right now. I used to have it to where they talked about how the Daughters of Confederacy were responsible for at least having a stake in Macmillan for publishing. So therefore, when it came to some of the curriculum that was going out, the Daughters of the Confederacy were able to influence that. So when people were talking about how the South was romance has been, it's such a horrible thing that happened to the South because they lost the Civil War. It was not looked at from the standpoint that they lost. It was romanticized about, it was so terrible what happened to the South. So that's
South
how
will rise again.
Presented in, but that's something to consider.
So that's what
it's called. It's called the Lost Cause theory.
So I think the key is right. We are reiterating points, right? So, and the reason why I'm saying that, Alex already mentioned, they make everything Disneyland, right? Essentially. So we understand that. I think it's a good piece of information. I'm gonna, do my due diligence on it. The Daughters of the Confederacy. Mr. Fantastic, are you saying get rid of CRT?
Of course, get rid of that shit. Again, I think Aaron, I'm not taking what Aaron says as agreement point, but to the point he said, to put in the minds of Black children that they're inferior to other people simply off of their race, is the essence of that whole thing. And to tell you that the white person automatically has a better chance to you because they're white creates more problems than it does good. Again, there are far more things and advantages that Black people have successes to and access to than there being, again, you can't tell me something that Black people are prevented from doing in 2025 going forward. You can't do it. Literally can't. There are laws in place to protect Black people when there is discrimination. You can sue, you can get a lot of money. You shaking your head no, but the truth is that it's there.
No, Donald Trump just signed his executive order. He just signed an executive order to pause all civil rights cases and to dismantle the civil rights division of the Justice Department.
Okay.
So
civil rights cases, you can't overturn something that's been put into place already.
No, yes, he can. He just
fantastic.
Yes, he can. That's what he's been doing.
Do we have that, Jalen? Do we have that one?
Yeah. Either or, bro. Listen,
you can't overturn a law with an executive order.
Abortion wasn't prevented. Get it back to the states. Y'all aren't being honest, bro. Can we just be honest?
That's why this stuff is in court. A lot of this stuff because
Fantastic. Can you not be disingenuous?
I'm not being disingenuous. I'm speaking facts. Okay.
No.
Is abortion banned? So John Henry, let's have a conversation. Is abortion banned, John Henry?
They just don't understand what you're saying, Mr. Fantastic. We don't even have to.
I'm speaking in plain English. I'm not
so
cursing.
Essentially, if a thing is federal, right, and then it gets dissolved, it goes to the states for them to make the decisions on those particular laws.
Okay,
right?
and that's
all
again,
he's saying.
the Supreme Court decided that. No, that's not what he's saying. He said abortion.
No, I'm saying that's what you. I'm saying that's the sequence of events.
Exactly. So he's speaking to something that was banned. We were talking about banned things and things that were taken away, and he said abortion. No, abortion wasn't taken away.
So I said the law. See, you need to listen. Fantastic. I said the precedent. You said precedents aren't done away with. There was a precedent for abortion since 1974 that is no longer a precedent. That's all I was speaking to.
No, the precedent is still there. It's just been given back to the states. All it did was that. So you guys aren't. Why are you shaking your head?
What
He's
he's
correct
saying is
one way where he said that
federally it was a precedent. It was
president is a difference.
Yes, but okay. So what?
You can take away a president.
Oh, wait. What was it before it was federal?
Huh?
You say, you can hear. What was it before it was federal?
There was no president.
Yes, it was. It was at the states. That's why it's called give back to the states. Back to the states means it was state, then it went federal. Federal case happened.
So look, that means that the precedent changed
You're both
twice
correct.
then.
You're
That would mean
both
that the
correct.
precedent changed from state to federal, then from federal to state. That means
Makes
You're both correct.
It went back. I'm right.
Yeah, but what it is though the precedent at the federal level is done, right? So that precedent no longer applies. It goes back to the states for the states to set the precedent specific to the state. So it's just about the laws, right? But it's just saying that the federal precedent was done away with, right? That's
Yeah, meaning if we wanted to,
we don't got to keep explaining this shit. I think we understand, right?
Okay.
Generally speaking, we understand.
Supreme Court said it should have never been that way in the first place.
They gave it back to the states.
Thank you. It got back to the rightful place where it was always.
Federal precedent was done away with. It went back to the states.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jalen.
What you were referring to? It's not what they were referring to because you asked me to look it up. It's not an executive order itself. It's a action due to the DEI executive order. They had to pause all of the civil rights cases to kind of give time.
To work through.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was the DOJ that made that decision. The new appointee.
I think they have like 90 days to revise it, something like that.
90 days.
But what she's saying is he didn't stop civil. It was because of the DEI. So it was
they're evaluating
like a domino effect, right? Essentially. So that's different from what was said, right? Now, do y'all want to keep going on this? Do we need to go to this gender thing? Because I don't understand it.
It's
unrelated.
A while on this. I'm ready to move.
Good.
This was too volatile. I'm good.
Don't put out negative words, right? I think it wasn't even volatile. I think there's a
spirit.
There you go, John. You're better.
I want to. Fantastic said something that I just can't let fly. He said that CRT is what creates the inferiority complex in the young black mind. Am I right in saying that? Am I paraphrasing you? Fantastic.
If I said it creates it, help would be.
It breeds a defeatist mentality or something to that effect. Right. All right. So I got to disagree because if you teach history correctly, especially within the context of CRT, what will actually happen is the young black mind will discover how they got out of the position that they were in. Just because you were there once doesn't mean you're relegated to being there forever. In fact, and that's why I said it, you got to tell stories, tell the history correctly. You cannot tell the story of a success story without challenge, right? So if you want to create a sense of pride and greatness within one person, you simply say, look, it is possible for you to achieve even in the most heinous of situations, even when all the cards are stacked against you, you still were able to dig out of the hole and climb up a mountain, which is what happened.
And also don't leave out the part about how great we were long before slavery.
You got to teach the whole story. It's not just slavery. It's we went from slavery to owning our own bank alongside the bank that enslaved us to begin with. That's the story that needs to be told. CRT does not just say slavery, and then blaxploitation, and then here we are. That's not what that's not what happens.
That's the part that leaves out. So you're helping my point, and they don't teach that. They don't.
No, it doesn't leave it out. It just focuses on one specific point. But it doesn't.
You don't understand the concepts we're talking about.
Wait.
middle here. So let's meet
It
in the middle.
focuses on it to ensure that it doesn't get overlooked, but it doesn't deliberately erase the other part of the story.
Okay, so
It
Aaron,
just
if
says
I
you
focus
cannot
on
call an
something,
indentured slave, slave an indentured
I
servant.
agree with that. I'm not listen. That was corrected the same way the CRT was taken out of the book. I gave y'all that. Y'all are using that one thing to like prove everything. No, that's one situation to where slaves were called helpers, and it literally had to be people called it out. And the same thing happened with the CRT shit happened in that. They took it out of the books. We are not doing this. Slaves were slaves. It was tragic. It was this. It was that. And I think they happened during Obama. If I actually crazy thing about it, right? I'm pretty sure it happened during Obama. Okay, what you say?
Yeah,
What
that was Trump.
I have a question.
Either
Then.
Trump or Biden.
That was way before Trump.
It was either Trump or Biden.
No, don't muddy it. Don't muddy it. It's inconsequential. I now have a question. How does CRT not tell the story or hide the story of the black person of black success over the last,
Because it doesn't talk about black success. All it talks about, like you said, Aaron, is the 90% focus of the white man is bad, slavery. You
No.
can't get ahead because of the white man. This,
You
that, and the other.
misunderstood the question.
I didn't misunderstand the question. I answered you.
Then what was the question I asked?
The question you asked is, where does it not cover the successes of black people?
No, that's not what I asked. How does it take it away? Just because it doesn't focus on a thing doesn't mean it removes it from the conversation.
Okay, so how does it take it
I'm
away?
talking to you, but that doesn't mean Jalen's off the panel just because I'm not talking to her. She's still right there.
Understood. So it takes it away, Aaron, by mentioning it 1% of the time. Okay, if you mention something 99, Aaron, and you're teaching, right? We're children here, talking children, right? Young children, K through 12. Okay, so if you teach them, let's say, the color red or whatever.
Remember the bulk. Yeah.
What are we talking about, bro? That's what I'm talking about, man. If the focus, you're literally molding minds. So if the focus and the focus and the focus and the focus, the majority of the focus, vast majority of focus is white people bad, white people bad, white people bad, and then you say, oh yeah, Barack Obama became president. Your only reference of black people doing good is, oh well, we were slaves, but I can be president.
The positives
That's
are minimized.
correct. But in a vacuum, history is not taught in the vacuum under the constraints of CRT alone. It's
that's not
CRT
literally
along with all of the other components of history that we're just not talking about because it's not scrolling across the bottom of the screen. But CRT
Literally.
in and of itself is just that. But there's so many other things that come with it.
Okay, so we're all around the same age, right? Okay, all right. So I distinctly remember, like, somehow, some way in geography, what was it? Social studies, right? Social studies, you don't really have history in elementary school. Social studies. We agree, right? Do we agree on that?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There was no fucking history in elementary school. It was social studies. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how social studies and learning about black people always aligned in like February, somehow, some way. Okay. And during the month of February, Black History Month, you would talk about George Washington Carver, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman, and maybe Sojourner Truth. Every now and again, if you had a black teacher, they might mention Malcolm X. Okay. But again, it was these black people were the good black people, the foundation of black, all this other shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of February, wasn't nothing talking about all the wonderful shit that black people did, and so on and so forth, and all this, triumph. I didn't know who fucking who's the millionaire dude in the 70s. I can't think it was first black millionaire, right? I didn't hear shit about him. I only heard about people that were already dead and
That
gone.
has nothing to do with.
Wait.
That has
So
nothing to do with CRT.
no, but I will. But here's the thing: when I learned about the Revolutionary War, I learned about Crispus Attucks.
That has everything to do with the agreed upon curriculum that the Board of Education decides on. That has nothing to do with CRT. CRT within itself is its own academic field. That has nothing to do with how history is taught.
And that's exactly why I said that CRT is not the essence of CRT that's taught in college is not the same CRT. That's not what's taught in schools. It's not. I told y'all that's what they are conflating. You say anything about Toussaint Overture and the Haitian Revolution, that's CRT. That's how they're going to label it.
Exactly.
That's how they do it, man. Like,
Yeah, so it's like saying history is like saying science. And CRT is like saying quantum field theory.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read these super chats real quick.
Landing it.
Callie with the $5 says, thank you. That's why slaves are called, quote, workers in history school books now. They trying to whitewash the history. Aaron with the $2 says, when have they told the true history in school? Omar Smith with the $10 says, Alex, love you, my sister, but the white folks always giving us Disney and their version of history. Everything most of us know is from white folks, their religion, food, and ideas we take as our own. And one was popping with the $10 says, we need to ban do-rags and bonnets in public or as a style choices. More dangerous than DEI and CRT or all the woke shit. Salute to y'all. Aaron with the $2 says, sometimes I wish I was a turtle like him.
hey,
Reese with the $5 says, only been 3 weeks and we already regretting electing this fool back in office. But Trumpster's always going to try to convince us he not incompetent. Quote, unquote concepts. Omar Smith with the $10 says, I know y'all smarter than me, but we learned in Research Methodology 101 that there's always a reference noted with the author. I studied in the East in another language, so it might be different. Tony Golden with the $5 says, black superheroes didn't blow up till recent because it wasn't popular amongst blacks.
Thank you.
You had to be a nerd to have been hip to them beforehand. You are incorrect.
No, it proves my point, actually.
Aaron with the $2 says, make sure to go over Rose sources 3 times. Tony Golden with the $2 says, Google CRT and Marxism. Ellipsis. Fantastic is right, man.
Nah, sources. As I said beforehand,
bring that wheel up.
Yeah.
All it has to do, man, is
I am
source.
done with this shit.
Yeah.
I think a lot of good information came out, right? I wanted to see where the Kennedy shit was going, but it really didn't lead us anywhere. I thought it was going to manifest into something different. But I think the key is to discuss the idea. People will make their own determinations once you give them good information. That's generally what happens with these political conversations. There's not a whole lot of concession happening, right? Because people chose based on preference already, right? So let me see. ICE quota. Okay. Now, well, ICE quota, is this the one where they got to get like 1,000 niggas, 1,000 of the Mexicans out of here per year or per month?
Shout out to the Mexicans.
Per day.
Directed to ICE to meet the daily quota. Hold on.
1,200 is crazy.
Between 1,200 and 1,500 arrests. I'm gonna read it. In call with senior immigration and customs enforcement officials, the Trump administration set a daily quota of at least 12 to 1,500 arrests. The ICE officials were told that each of the agency's field offices should make 75 arrests per day, and managers would be held accountable for not reaching those numbers. One day after the call, ICE arrested a total of 1,179 people.
So
Though what has been outlined is very much a quota, the White House is calling a demand for an increase in arrest numbers a goal. ICE said it launched enhanced targeted operations, quote unquote, in Chicago in partnership with the FBI and other federal agencies, while immigration enforcement actions have also been reported in Atlanta, Puerto Rico, Colorado, Los Angeles, Austin, New York City, Detroit, and Newark, among many other towns across the country. They getting to it, man. Damn. So if it's a day, do they take weekends off?
Nah.
Damn,
So look,
306. Do they take so-called Christmas off? Maybe.
That's crazy.
Federal holidays.
That's a wild quota.
What's 360? What's 300? Hold on. What's 360 times 1,700?
Huh? Somebody got a calculator. But so hold on. So we're saying $1,200, 1,200 people a day.
I'm on it. What is it? What's the numbers again?
612,000.
Wait. Oh,
$500,000 a year.
Okay, so out of the, I think they over the last 4 years they've I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's correct or whatever. I'm just saying. Okay, this is the numbers that have been projected to be given. It's like 10 million people over the last 4 years. Okay, does anybody disagree with that? Anybody think that's too high? You think that's too high? All right, so
Mesa 612 over here. No.
So no. I'm saying over the last 4 years, the number of illegal migrants that have came here is projected to be 10 million plus, or at least 10 million.
10 million, really?
Yes.
She said, "Oh Lord."
Yeah. Okay, so whatever it is, right? So out of the millions, so can we admit that there's a million?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a fair number, right? Even though that's asinine, but let's just admit.
I would say 5.
If we had a million people get here illegally over the last 4 years, what's the problem with getting them out as soon as possible and to stop taxing the American economy and the people in Chicago, the people in New York, that were telling us and informed us on how these people getting $3,000 per month for food stamp and living and all. And yes, but y'all shaking y'all head, but bro,
I'm not saying I disagree.
Wait. Slow it down. Let Sean respond. I feel like them two is like I don't know, the nigga that came from Krypton and then Superman. So let them two go.
We Georgia,
cool
Alabama.
Hold on real quick, yo. Georgia, Alabama, they stink now though.
Oh yeah. You know which one he is.
Salute Evan for the $3. Cool nerd. Did you go to Morehouse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he did. Whoever asked that.
That's what's up.
And salute to Miss Valerie for the 50 ball. We appreciate you, Miss Valerie. Hope the babies are doing well, man. Let me play this and then we'll get it back popping.
And when I'm feeling broke, E and J by my side, Henny like $40. This shit like
Valerie Smith in the building. Now, what did Mr. Fantastic ask or say that got everybody talking at one time? It sounded like a choir.
So look,
I just shook my head.
What my brother Fantastic forgot to leave out is that under Joe Biden, there were more deportations than at any point. At any point, there were about 5 million deportations.
More than Obama?
So yeah, I'm gonna drop the link right now. There you go.
I thought they called him the porter in chief. No, what was his name? The
porter in chief. Yep. He was throwing them out.
And I know Fantastic is good with numbers too. So if a certain amount came in, but a certain amount went out, then we will have to determine what the net is. Now, to your point, Fantastic, I know it was more than 1 million. So you know what I'm saying? If we want to just make an honest assessment of it, then we will have to know how many really came in versus how many he deported. And now, once again, I'm not no big Joe Biden fan either. So I just want to just report whatever the numbers are.
Where here?
Yeah, you see that?
Biden's here.
Right.
So Biden at the peak, it looks like in May 22nd, he peaked out at almost 150,000.
Right. And so if you scroll down below that chart to where it says while it also dealt with record numbers of illegal crossings, you'll get to the numbers.
Read it.
All right. So it says
no, I can read it. You want to read it? Oh, okay. While it also dealt with record numbers of illegal crossings at the U.S.-Mexico border, the Biden administration also rapidly increased its deportation efforts over the past 4 years. Over 4.6 million people were removed from the U.S. between January 2021 and November 2024, 4.6 million. According to the government data, the March 22 seeing the highest number of people leaving at 147,000 in just the 1 month of March.
So look, with that said, them people being deported. Now, I'm with you on if you ain't supposed to be here, you should be deported. So I don't give a shit who's deporting them. Deport them if they shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that. We ain't even got to bump heads on that.
All of them.
Yeah, we ain't got to bump heads on that. But my one caveat, I got one small caveat that's very important. Get the unremarkable Caucasian European ones. Don't just take the ones who no speaker. Don't just take the ones who speak Espanol. Take them unremarkable Caucasians too. Send them back to the caves and the mountains they come from.
All of them.
If you deport all of these Mexicans, I'm gonna tell you this. And not just Mexicans, Venezuelans, Guatemalans, Nicaraguans, all of them. If you deport all those people, this country will go into a free for all. This country will devolve into utter chaos. Why? Because nobody's going to pick your strawberries. Nobody's going to pick your cabbage. Nobody's going to pick your melons. Nobody's going to pick your broccoli. Nobody's going to pick your apples, your oranges. Nothing that you see in the grocery store that's in the produce aisle is going to get picked. They do all of that shit. I was last year pulled up in Florida at this gas station. We ride a bus to the store. They pulled up in the bus. 50 of them got off. And where they going? To the strawberry field to pick from sun up to sundown. Ain't none of y'all doing that shit.
If they pay people right, they will.
Hey, no, they won't.
Well,
because they tried that already. They tried that already.
You know what, Rob? What I would say is that the ones who stay here, they can do it.
I mean, what you mean?
Because all of them ain't illegal. You know what I'm saying? The ones that
and they do, and a lot of them do.
Well, it's more work. It's more work for them, and those are the black jobs that Trump talked about. But yeah, everybody ain't getting deported. But look, now to your point, Rob, it's gonna cause a lot of downward pressure on the agricultural industry. It's gonna be inflationary, of course, and of course we're gonna have to subsidize the agricultural industry like we did before, unfortunately.
So are we encouraging slave labor right now? Is that what I hear?
That's capital. Capitalism has always needed a poor working class, almost a slave class. That's what capitalism is. You always need that poor working class to make capitalism. That's the oil. That's the oil that makes capitalism run.
So it's communism. Communism is the same principle. It's just mandated by the government versus not voluntary. So so when you guys negatively speak about it, just gives me your mindset, because capitalism is a much fairer system than communism, Marxism, all these other things.
Capitalism all depends on who's running it. Well, capitalism all depends on who is running it, because
communism has killed more people than any other form of government in history, and it's not even close.
So the United States form of capitalism
is fantastic. That should be your answer.
So no. So how many people have? How many people around this world has the United States killed?
Not enough for communism. I promise you that.
How many people has the United States killed?
We can bet a paycheck on it. You want to bet $1,000? I will bet you $1,000.
So here's
money.
Pull it back out. Pause.
Let's bet $1,000 that the United States and the military and the CIA operations and the secret shit, all this stuff that's been reported, does not even come close. Okay. All right, to Stalin.
All right, let's keep it
pushing. How many people did we kill in Nagasaki and Hiroshima?
I'm talking about history, bro. Come on, it's close. It's not
Who dropped the bomb? Who dropped the bomb?
Go ahead, Ro. Add something. Add something in.
My question is, when they deport all of them, are you guys ready to be assigned jobs?
Ain't nobody assigned to me.
Break it down. What you mean?
Just to a height.
So
what you mean, bro? Expound.
So I'm gonna break this down. So if the economy is going bad, number one, we're not producing anything. Number two, we have some folks now that are in charge that are already gaining control over systems. What makes you think that they won't be assigning jobs?
How the fuck would they go about assigning anybody a job? Who gonna enforce that? How you gonna do it?
I'm trying to figure out why would you think they would not try to do it?
No, I mean, it's your premise. Why would you think they would do it, and how would they do it?
Well, I think that there's ways of them doing it in a way where they're, number one, cutting the education department, right? So if your kids can't do the white collar jobs because they don't know how to read or write or do 1 + 1 = 2, what makes you think that states won't start implementing certain families to do certain jobs?
So how would they do that?
You get unemployment. You get unemployment, you know that you have to report yourself for looking for a job, right?
But
So
that's not what you said, though.
So
You said assigning.
You asked me how would they assign it?
Okay, I'm sorry. You're right.
If you currently are on unemployment, you have to report out that you're looking for a job. If you can't find a job and they need you to fill a job, they'll assign it to you.
No, that's not. No.
Oh,
no,
y'all don't
no.
think so?
No, that's not.
No, they can assign it, but do you accept it?
There's
What she's saying is that those are going to be the job. Those are going to be some of the only jobs that are going to be left.
Let me help. Let me help the ideology. This is what Ro's saying, which I understand it to a degree because I'm trying to, right? You're on unemployment. You have to certify every week that you applied for jobs, that you did what you needed to do. They also ask you if you turned down any work that you could potentially have had, right? They also, again, you have to send in the list of companies in which you applied for. So now they can vet and say, well, we know Johnson Farms just hired 20 motherfuckers. So ain't no way they ain't call you too. And in which case they'll either deny your unemployment if you don't take that job, or you have to take that job. So they don't force you, but they put you in a conundrum. So I could see what she's saying based on that, but they're not going to assign you, but you're going to be between a rock and a hard place. I guess that's.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is what's that movie called? Where the Divergence or whatever. I'm not saying that
Divergence.
Whatever they're called, I don't know what the movie's called.
I'm glad I ain't seen that.
What happens to people up north in New York?
I can't bring up an
Tell me
article.
the name of it so I can make sure I never watch it. Please tell me
It's
the
a
name.
movie. I don't know. Anyways,
My point is, can we just please?
Hey, you know you said some wild shit when you got me.
All right, well, Ro, go ahead. Finish your point, Ro. Go ahead.
My point is, if we're talking about, which we know this is what the ultimately what the goal is to get them all out. Like Fantastic said, those people that are sitting there getting checks and everything, they're getting them all out. Who's going to fill the jobs, and how are we going to be affected by it?
They goddamn cousins and the crackheads. Who else?
So have we not? There's an answer. The incarcerated population.
Yeah, Miss Julie said that earlier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just read something about that.
Elon Musk.
You can make them do what they
introduced.
want to do. They award the state. They ain't free.
Right,
Yeah,
but that's just per state, like I said before. That and okay, so you have them working, you have them doing the work. Are they producing quick enough? Are they going to be able to produce enough quick enough where we're able to have our economy recover?
Shit, good time to get a nigga picking.
No, that's some real work out there. I don't know, man. Look, I seen firsthand what the strawberry pickers do.
Yeah, I think
that's some strenuous work, bro.
700,000 people in prison, right?
Yeah,
it's almost a million. Could and they obviously allocated to different states. Could it be? Does Nebraska have enough motherfuckers in prison?
Nah, I don't know.
In the feds, you could place people wherever.
I mean, but they have there's certain jobs that prisoners do now, like the firefighter. What's that shit that they employ them to fight fire. I think that would be a decent option.
But y'all are talking about indentured servitude. That's not forcing somebody to do something. That's indentured servitude. Because the bill that they're about to present is they're trying to basically get that type of indentured servitude in exchange for time off. Yeah, less time. Yeah. But that's
already in place.
Yeah.
But I think that the immigration stuff or the deportation is very multi-layered, but to the point of the economy, you have to think about that. So you go ahead and you get rid of these particular groups of people, the economy is going to be some trash. And these are things that people did not think about, right? And I think, yes, we do want to improve our immigration problem that we have in the US. We absolutely want to improve that. However, I think we are not going about it in the smartest way. We are not thinking about the impact. Everybody was just like, I'm voting for Trump because he's going to lower the price of eggs and so forth and so forth. Ain't shit been lowered yet. And it's not going to be lowered at all.
It's been in fucking 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks. He's done a
He
lot
done
though.
plenty of shit in 2 weeks, bro. Don't get that nigga no
He's done a
shit.
lot of things.
Doing?
It's been a lot of things in 2 weeks. That's the thing. And there's no line. Okay, so let me ask you this, Fantastic. Tell me when you think he's going to lower these egg prices. Tell me when. Tell me when.
Okay, so
just answer the question. Just answer the question.
I'm trying to answer it. So, Alex, the funny thing about this is I'm currently taking a fucking accounting class, right? You know what I mean? Accounting is not economics, but it ties into it, you know, very strongly. And they got this thing. You heard of a 10K? You ever heard of a 10K? So a 10K is pretty much like the assessment of a business or whatever for the year, so on and so forth, right? Some people do a calendar, some people do a fiscal. So, Alex, for you to expect a major turnaround, okay, in 2 weeks for inflation that's been growing over 4 years defies every economic, every accounting, any fucking mathematical reason in life. Can we have an honest discussion and put the political shit to the side? Oh, please, hold on.
I agree with you. I just want to say I agree with you.
Hold on. Take the politics out of it. Let's have a discussion on the discussion. Stop looking at this. It's Trump. So
no,
wait
a minute. Before you move forward, I agree with you from a logical perspective. However, what I need you to understand is that people voted for him because they legit thought that as soon as he gets up into office,
how do you know they thought?
Listen to me. Hear me. No, Fantastic. Hear me.
Who did you vote for?
Kamala.
Okay, I voted for Trump. You know what? I didn't think everything was going to be fucking changed in 2 weeks.
Okay, and that's you. That is you.
Okay, I can say that I represent the majority of Trump voters.
Fantastic. First of all, relax. We're having a conversation. I need you to understand there are people who voted for him for that reason. And you are saying, and logically, and I understand that it's not going to happen overnight, but he has done a lot of shit in this 2 weeks time. Listen to me. So what I am asking you is, listen to me.
Yo, Fantastic. Stop cutting her off, bro.
But she just conceded the point.
There's
no need.
No. Fantastic. Just let her finish it. Come on.
Listen to me. What I am saying is he has made a lot of changes very, very, very quickly, right? Some of the changes has to also do with the immigration stuff and the deportation. People voted for this man literally because they thought that, oh, my gas prices are about to go right back down immediately. My egg prices are about to go down. I see the people in the comments saying, listen to me. They are about to shoot up.
Give me a chance to respond.
But you're not even letting me finish my point.
Because you're telling me all these things.
You're not letting me finish my point.
I've heard it.
What is your point? You're repeating
the point is this. The point is this, Mr. Fantastic. Essentially, this is what happens, right? People get confused, right? Or they get excited. So when people come in because they're laymen, they think things are going to change overnight. And when they saw the stock market go up in just a day, people liken that to everything else because they're not thinking thoroughly. They're like, Trump here, we're gonna get this, we're gonna get that, we're gonna get. She's just looking at how people be talking. That's all.
This majority. Hold on, this might be risky, right?
What do you
say? Majority minority, the majority of people, the majority of Trump voters believe that everything was gonna turn up, just flip and reverse and be all fucking cookies and cream in whatever 2 weeks.
Yes.
That's great.
No, it's not crazy because you literally heard him say it all day.
Well, so the people aren't laymen, right? But there are catalysts. So when I look at the stock market spike, people take that and then apply it to everything. But I don't think the majority of people are that dumb. So I would say no. But the propaganda is loud as shit though. So what we see on the TV is people saying Trump this. You see what happened, Trump here. So we see more of that, but I don't think the majority of people just thought that. But we see it a lot.
Let me finish. Let me bring it back to what the deportation, right? When you don't have those individuals there, right? It is going to get very, very, very expensive because I think it was Rob who said it. Who is going to go ahead and take care of that agriculture piece? Because average Americans are not about to be out there in that hot sun doing it. I don't care how much you pay them. They're going to say labor laws. Where's my health insurance? These people are out here working underpriced.
Alex, for the low cost of a 16th of yayo, I can get a puppy to do it.
Sean, what are we doing, bro? Come on, bro. She
So
just did this long ass fucking soliloquy, dog. Okay, now Alex, even though you
It
already
felt
conceded,
longer because you kept talking.
even though because you kept repeating
And
yourself,
I have to
So-
give context.
and
to
now
get to the
so
point.
now you're repeating yourself again. So okay,
It's
for the
not,
third time,
but
repeat
it's
yourself.
not though.
You're still repeating
Fantastic.
yourself.
If you
So
would
keep
learn
repeating
to
yourself.
just take a beat and listen
So
for a
repeat. So
second,
keep repeating yourself.
listen to understand instead of to
So no,
respond,
it's
we
not
can
to
get to the point.
understand. It's not
Okay.
to understand when it's pointless. There's nothing to
Okay.
understand. First off,
Okay.
we want to go back to the point where you agreed with me, to where you said a
Yes,
logical
and
person.
I gave
Hold
you
on, all right, so
that.
that should have been it. It should have
And
been
I
end
gave
up.
you
Let's
that,
keep
but
going.
I
So
also
now, hold on.
said
So now I gotta
that's a
respond to
logical
you and
point.
all this filibustering you did.
That's
So
a
what?
logical
Hold on.
point.
Stop. Wait. Okay.
What's the
So
point he
here's the
responding
argument.
to? What's the point he
So what?
responded to?
All of it, shit. I already responded to the most important fact that she admitted that she was wrong and she agreed with that most
I didn't
logical
agree.
people.
I didn't say I was wrong about
You
anything.
did when you
I
said
did
most
not.
logical
I
people
agreed with
agree
you
that don't happen.
that
All
I
right,
know
so
that it
you
is not
agree that
going
you
to
were wrong.
is not going to
Okay, so
happen
now let me move
overnight.
on. So now
I
let's move
said that
forward.
people
Okay,
thought
so now
that.
let's move forward. So now let's move forward. Okay, so the second part of it is again, Sean, what you just say? What happened with? Hold on, what you just say happened with Biden? Just real quick, concise with the immigrants. What happened?
Most deportations.
Oh, so most deportations, right? Did your motherfucking strawberries and lettuce and whatever go up $10 a pound? No, it
Strawberries
didn't.
did.
No, it didn't.
It's 10 million.
Wait, stop. No, please don't interrupt me, bro.
conflating shit,
It's 1
dude.
on 30. Jesus.
No, it didn't go up. It didn't go up astronomically. Inflation as a whole was up, so a lot of stuff went up, including
Thank you,
strawberries.
but it wasn't
Hold
due
on.
to
So
immigrants.
let's talk about inflation real quick. Hold on.
Hold on.
Let's
Finish the point real quick.
I'm the only
Finish
me,
the
bro.
point. Finish the point. It's fantastic. Don't respond to all that stuff. Finish your point.
They keep cutting me off.
All right,
Like,
I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Finish it.
Get cut off. Fantastic. Come on, bro.
Finish the point. Finish the point.
Fuck. So what I'm saying is this: you're never gonna get to the point where there's no immigrants. Can we stop talking like this shit's gonna ever happen? Obama was the deporter in chief. Motherfucking strawberries never reached fucking $5 a pound or $10 a pound. There are always gonna be enough fucking illegal immigrants here to take care of the shit, bro. It's called motherfucking how the sausage is made. Necessary evil. We understand that. Okay? There's never going to be a point to where 100% of fucking illegal immigrants are going to be removed. The problem is when you get above, you get a surplus of what you need to make things work, and it starts hurting the system
Ways on the economy.
negatively. Okay? So now when you get 1+ million, because y'all don't want to say the 10 million or however many extra million it is, and now you got these, literally, you can see this. And y'all shook your head earlier, but places like New York and Chicago, to where the citizens complained and confirmed that you were giving illegal immigrants more fucking government assistance and more state and federal assistance than you were giving the citizens. That creates a problem. That creates way more problems than the motherfucking strawberries. So what are we talking about here?
So
We're talking about
movies. Stop. I'm almost done. Y'all niggas brought up movies. And they gonna make niggas work. And they gonna hold on, I'm almost done. And they gonna make niggas work. They gonna assign niggas jobs. Are we serious?
All right, so this is it. This is it right here. This is it right here. Right? We understand that people get into the country, right? So you're always gonna have a residual influx of people, right? Just based on the borders and things of that nature. People don't go back home, right? On their green cards, whatever the case is, right? So these people being deported is inconsequential to the norm. This is an influx that were invited in that now gotta go, but you still got people coming in, so it's never gonna be zero. And so if we called Obama the deporter in chief, we see Biden was doing his senile thing, right? And now Trump doing it as well. We haven't seen a huge spike in costs aside from inflation that affect everything, including fruit. So can we assume, is it safe to assume that getting everybody out here ain't going to change the status quo?
No,
I mean, I can't. Yeah, well, we can't say that because they've been changing it, right? So first it was just the criminals, right? Then they said it doesn't matter if they're here illegally or not because they're criminals, right? If they overstay their visa, they're criminals because they didn't abide by the law. So they started taking. They're looking for those. That's why the $1,000 person mandate has been put in place.
But I thought, well, if you're here illegally, aren't they all criminals?
That's what I said.
Well,
I
to
said
help that mandate,
Why
though.
you telling me something?
that's what he said. That's what his press secretary said. She said they're all criminals, so they are all trying to get all of the criminals out, including the ones that are overstaying their visa.
And that's what Sean said he wants. So Sean said he want the Europeans included. So if you
everybody.
So what are we complaining
And that's the
about?
only reason why I said, because Sean said he wanted all of them gone. So when I said that if you get all of them to go, then that's when the prices will raise. You won't have. That's where my
No,
But that's what he said.
guys. Sean's point was don't discriminate.
Exactly.
That was
Oh,
his
yeah, I
theory.
get that. I get
point.
that. So
Yeah.
so what I'm
I gotta
saying
go.
is, so let's get back from the immigrants real quick.
Kunal, you
So
wanna say something?
we talk about inflation, right? We talking about inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Our inflation is 2.9. When Biden left office, it was 2.9. Is inflation a United States phenomena or is it a global phenomena?
Global.
It's a global phenomenon. So inflation is all over the world, right? So we have the lowest inflation of any developed country in the world. And we have the highest prices of any developed country in the world. Why is that? Because you have corporations price gouging.
That inflate the price, yes.
They inflate the price.
Yeah,
that's
but that's
why we have all of this crazy ass prices right now. How do we have the lowest inflation?
Okay,
but then we have how we pay more for eggs.
Brother,
you know how much they pay for eggs in
But
Japan?
then in saying that, then that kind of refutes the point that you were trying to make earlier.
Well, what's that?
Or someone was regarding if they got rid of illegal immigrants at a high rate, then it would mess with
No,
the price.
that's two things, because the price will still go up because you still have people that have to pick the produce. If the produce sits on the dock, or the produce sits in the field and nobody picks it, and then you have limited amounts of that product, what's going to happen to the product that is on the shelf?
So
look,
they're already.
So can we first address why we have inflation? And the funny thing about this, Rob, is that you came on here last time and you distinctly gave the reasoning for it. So this is why I'm really disappointed, brother. I'm so frustrated. You said properly and rightfully so. Since 2008, we've been fucking going through inflation, correct? Didn't you bring it up? The recession?
Yeah.
All right. So hold on, stop. So you agree, okay? We've been going through inflation since 2008. Okay.
Always, not just
hold on. So what happened with this? I know where you go with it. Okay, go ahead. Man, you ain't got to yell, man.
It didn't start in 2008.
Man, we just having
No,
a talk,
he's discussing
Take a breath.
discussing something that Rob mentioned last time. So the argument isn't about when it started; it's about what was discussed previously. Go ahead.
All right, cool.
So now, what happened in 2020, Rob?
COVID.
And what happened during that, from a financial standpoint of the United States government, Rob?
Inflation.
No, why?
Because nobody was working.
Wrong. They printed more money in 2020.
Exactly, yeah. Nobody was working. Go ahead.
Don't agree now. So since you forgot it, you didn't. Let me educate the people. So when you print the most money in the history of the United States in a fucking 2-year period, what does that do, Rob?
Devalue the money.
Thank you, Ham. And devaluing the money does what?
So wait a minute.
Cost rise.
When inflation went up all over the world, did we print money for them? So inflation is global, like I said.
No,
it's
global.
It was global. It was global.
It's global, man. We have the
that's because our
lowest
currency
inflation
is
of any country in the world. We have the lowest inflation. So what are you saying? We have the lowest.
So is the art and again, right? Does inflation directly correlate? Kinda, right? But because we're talking about getting people out of here.
Yeah, many factors can.
And so there are reasons for inflation that are the same reasons over multiple countries, but it's not only one reason why things inflate, right? So when you're talking about the US specifically, yeah, the cost of goods may have went up for everybody during COVID, but also did everybody print the same amount of money and things of that nature? So what was the primary reason in which our inflation was higher, right? That's what the discussion is. But when we talking about deporting everybody, are we saying that is going to be a key reason, a main reason, an actual reason why our prices increase.
It could be. It could be. The tricky part about that, which is what Trump did last time, is we subsidized the agricultural industry, which is one thing you can do to I guess to attenuate the degree to which prices go up. So if you look it up, we I think it was like 32 billion in 2020 or something like that we subsidized the agricultural industry. You know what I'm saying? Which will keep them from, you know what I'm saying? So look at it like that. It's an artificial way, you know what I'm saying? To
keep it down.
The stimulus too.
Exactly.
Essentially,
the tricky part about that is technically that means we're still paying for that because the subsidy comes from taxpayer money.
Yeah,
you know
the stimulus.
So,
would you rather pay for that subsidy or pay for somebody to live?
Go ahead, Cooner. Let Cooner get it. Go ahead, Cooner.
Would y'all want to pay that subsidy, or would you rather pay somebody to live in luxury apartments, luxury hotels for free? They ain't paying no taxes.
What you mean?
He talking about
they had those illegal immigrants in New York in luxury hotels.
All right,
what would you rather pay for, Sean?
Nobody want to pay that.
I don't know about
Chicago too.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You're paying these people what was it $3,000 a day to house some of these illegal immigrants?
No, I don't
so
want to pay that.
I would rather subsidize that. If we're gonna choose, I'd rather subsidize those farms than having to pay for somebody's lifestyle for free while they're sitting there for free.
100%. That's the argument. Nobody agrees with that.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is though, we're talking about like subsidize. We're talking about the subsidized. I'd rather keep the subsidy.
No, I was just saying as a point of clarity.
I see what you're saying.
Just because they get deported, it may not be reflected because we may heighten the level of subsidies.
But then you also got to understand this though. One of his policies that I think will balance out the prices will be the fact that he's focusing more on energy and specifically pipelines and getting rid of some of the regulations around pipelines. So that allows for oil production. To actually be distributed better. Now, when you distribute and you put more oil into the market, that will lower energy prices overall. Not just energy prices, but pretty much everything we use has oil in it. Everything that has plastic has oil in it. Everything for manufacturing has oil in the process. Go ahead.
We don't use that oil. We export that.
Yeah, we don't
like that. More oil in the process, but more oil in the market.
But
just because you don't use it directly, but more oil in the market decreases the overall price.
That's not true because look, under Biden, we're drilling more than we ever have.
But the pipelines, the lack of pipeline, the regulations against pipelines didn't allow that to be distributed as fast, right? So it's called a supply chain that's called a bottleneck. So therefore, you could produce 10 million barrels of oil, but if you could only get 50,000 out a day,
before we shift too much, I did just want to say, to clarify, I know it is more than just eggs, and I think and I feel and I know and I believe that the immigration system is more than just eggs. It is more than just agriculture. It is a multi-layered problem. But the system is broken, and I will say the pathway to citizenship is a broken one. And I will say that as someone who myself became a citizen right after Trump became president, the first go around, and someone whose parents were military, was born on U.S. soil, it was a very, very, very long process. Whose mother fought in the war, who was in the military for many, many years. It is a broken system, and I see it all the time. DACA. That affects them. Those people, those children who have been here since they were 3 and 4 years old, they're also on the realm to go ahead and be deported as well. So that is also an issue. And that's something that people have to think about when we talk about deporting the people. They're now considered illegal and not being here.
I do want
to come to my job, not for me, just say that we've had to have a conversation with our staff about like, hey, here's what your rights are just in case they come in here, because we do have staff members who were a part of DACA, who are in the process and they had appointments trying to go ahead and get their citizenship. So those are things that I think people don't think about and consider when we talk about immigration and deportation. The system is broken in itself.
Another thing, he rolled back the legislative barrier of federal immigration officers being able to be allowed in sensitive areas. I think that's churches, schools, courthouses. They're now allowed to go into those places to pick up illegal immigrants. That
you
is
can
my
put them
main
at-
focal point as to why I have a point of contention with the quota, because of the methodology in which these ICE officers are using to get these people. And to
Where you
be
gonna-
clear,
Mhm.
what? What?
Well, I was just where you gonna get them at? That's where you catch them slipping.
No, they was literally they was trying to go into school so they can grab a kid,
children,
hold the kid.
Well, so I think so that the rebut.
Come get
No,
them.
100%. I think oftentimes, and I want y'all to I want y'all to respond to this, right? Oftentimes people will say kid because it hits a soft spot, right? But we have acceptable loss in everything that we do, right? So what's the cost benefit analysis? So you want to pay $3,000 a month, or are there kids that gotta go for the overall benefit?
So is the cost benefit analysis arresting Native Americans, arresting active military who speak Spanish but who are citizens who are in the military? Because all these people have been arrested by ICE. All these people have been arrested by ICE. There's countless
all them useless Ukrainians and shit.
There's countless stories. There's countless stories. But like I'm saying, this is going to be a situation that's going to get worse and worse. But well, go ahead, Fantastic. Go ahead. I'm receptive. I'm receptive, bro. Go ahead,
brother. I don't care. They're not supposed to
brother,
be here.
brother.
They're not supposed to fucking be here. If your black ass break a law and you run in the church, guess what they're gonna do? Chase your ass in the church, drag you the fuck out, and lock your dumb ass up. Okay. I wasn't saying your dumb ass disrespect.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
You know so, but what do we? Why are we giving? Why do we care to give criminals? Okay. At the end of the day, they're criminals. Y'all talking about black people, right? Or whatever. What was the young boy? How old was it? The black kid they put in the y'all need black people, racism and shit. They electrocuted a fucking 13-year-old boy to death.
George Stinney, right?
Yeah, like how old was he? 13 or something?
13, yeah.
Yeah. What? So we worried about some kids
Well,
get sent back.
Years ago, was that
What are we saying?
So my argument for that is if Biden and Obama deported people in high numbers and they weren't allowed to go into churches, courthouses, or schools, I think it can be done without them having to go into sensitive areas, right?
Okay,
Or no?
and it can't be done with it. Again, like you said, it was something that again they did not want to fucking do. And if you have the authority to roll it back and it's legal to do it, they're gonna do it. Jalen, you know what else? In certain cases, if you're in your house or whatever, let's say you pull up in your driveway and a lot of people think, oh, I'm in my house, you can't come in here. Well, no, he can't come in your house because you were in a police stop and now you tried to evade him, and that takes away your eminent domain, Jalen.
So they need to go in these synagogues, these Catholic churches, and get all them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exigent circumstances, right? Yeah, like high pursuit, they can chase you.
Get them
Let
all.
me read these real quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read these, and I just want to see if Cool Nerd, John, and Aaron had anything on this. Hit the like button if you can. That helps the channel the most. Aaron with the $2 says, "I don't care. Deport them. I need a better job." See, he willing to pick. East Side was popping with the $10 says, "Mr. Fantastic, keep doing God's work. You 3-0 against these nerds." Reese with the $2 says, "No damn 10 million. That's propaganda, and they pay taxes." Mike Brown with the $10 says, "What up?" Mike says, "Countering East Side. Fantastic took some L's tonight."
East Side glazing. East Side, you were glizzy glaze out there.
Aaron with the $5 says, "Ghost job. That a job posting for a position that doesn't exist or has already been filled. They're also known as phantom jobs, the real American issue." Deborah was popping with the $5 says, "Picking fruits and vegetables is becoming increasingly automated. Google it." Jay Miller with the $2 says, "Ro, do you read that out of Facebook meme?" She said about Divergent. Deborah Leonelli with the $2 says, "Eggs are high because of bird flu pandemic."
Them bird flu eggs.
Rebecca Lynn Marino with the $5 says, he got us Handmaid's Tale, the chickens first. SMH. Who? What?
Handmaid's Tale.
What?
Is that the one with the ugly white girl, right?
Hideous.
And they all wear the red robes.
The red and the green. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Aaron with the $2 says, we know y'all lazy niggas don't want to cut your own grass. Jesus Christ. He knows. What's popping, kid? Been a member for 13 months. Says, who is going to pick our cotton? I mean, strawberries. Laugh my ass off. You can't make this up. Rebecca with the $2 says, Trump said we're going through growing pains first. Sean Brewer with the $5. What up? Sean says $5 says, if you here illegally, you are a criminal! Exclamation point. How the fuck are you this dumb? Go define criminal, please. Hamp for the panel! Exclamation point. Sean Brewer with the $2 says 4 years of Biden and motherfuckers was hush mouth. Sean Brewer with the $2 says show us where Biden was drilling! Exclamation point.
Pause, nigga.
Aaron with the $2 says long-winded convo, all for the chicken baby fetuses. The chosen one with the $5 says Alex, excuse me. How were you born here and yet you just became a citizen under Trump? And your parents were military? Make it make sense. You want to respond to this?
Yes. So I was born in Germany. My parents were not married. My mother was born in Jamaica. And at the time of my birth, my father was in another country. My mother was in Germany. So at the time when you went to the military, you did not have to be a U.S. citizen. My mother got her citizenship later on, but because they were not married, it was a whole process. So although I'm supposed to be technically considered a U.S. citizen, I had papers called child born abroad. Thank you very much. So I had to go through a different process to obtain my citizenship.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Congratulations.
No.
Brewer with the $10 says,
I was over there.
Support all them. Black people always caring for other people. Bullshit. I see why black people live dysfunctional lives. Man, y'all can't show one school they ICE went in. Please start using real sources on the show. Dre with the $2.
They ran up in there.
You don't see they are inching away at your freedoms. Aaron with the $2 says, Hemp, can we do a segment on ghost jobs if it's time? Not today, beloved. Uncut Underground with the $2 says, people have been pardoned for worse. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel. The most cool nerd. You want to expound on this at all? You any more thoughts on this right here? Because I think people generally go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, I was just saying. I was just saying. I think people were. It's very interesting when we talk about these prices and we talking about people picking strawberries and stuff like that. One of the comments just said it. Well, I kind of said it earlier. So essentially, a lot of y'all are advocating for slave labor. If you want, we're talking about this. Oh, how much? They could pick, who could pick the strawberries and the oranges and all that stuff. Y'all advocating for slave labor. Guess what? What those companies should do? Hire regular people, American citizens, and pay them a fair wage. You can't be sitting there and paying Juan 50 cents a day to pick some strawberries and then complain about it. You know, like we gotta like really. And then another thing is we also got to hold these companies accountable for allowing these people to come in and work for them under the table too. That's also taking away jobs.
Yeah,
I agree with that second part.
Because like we said there, you pay to do a Home Depot $500 to do your roof.
That goes to people getting over.
$500 for a roof, my nigga, is crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Right.
That's a
$10,000 discount.
Once you have a whole bunch of pots and pans, boy.
It should leak it next week.
Damn,
I got
500, boy.
I got to slide that 5 a.m. alarm clock gonna go off in a minute, boy. So
yeah,
I wish I could stay longer. Y'all be good,
Rob. Nah, stay here, bro. We got 35 more minutes, beloved. You could do it. I'll call you at 4:30.
All right.
I can spin the wheel.
So I want to see Aaron John. Did y'all want to add something to this?
Yeah, the only thing I say is that the inflation that Fantastic was referring to was not caused by Biden printing money. Biden did not print money that devalued the dollar. If anything, I dropped the article in the back chat that addresses that. But in essence of that, it was based upon what was being done to help protect folks from COVID. So a lot of the spending had a lot to do with that, some of the programs that came out. But I'll leave it right there. And again, I've got the chat, the link in the back chat to share that.
Okay.
Spin the wheel, woman.
Hold on, Aaron.
I'm speculating I mean, but has anybody asked a question like about the subsidy thing? Why can't other sectors subsidize lower earning sector? I mean, agriculture is what, 5-6% of the GDP. You got Mars, right? This company makes like food, snacks, and shit like that, but they also make dog food, pet food. But you know what they do? They subsidize the veterinarian industry and medicines for animals. Why? Because it's just expensive. And if they subsidize that, make it cheap, now they can sell dog food again. So why can't a higher earning sector subsidize a lower earning sector to maintain job growth in the GDP, in the country, which will raise the GDP overall,
That's
instead
what
of relying on the tax subsidies?
But that's what happens. That's the highest earning sector. The taxation. That's
No. Like business, tech, stuff like that.
no, because that's privatizing things. That you know what I'm saying.
Monopolizing. That's why I gave the Mars example.
Would it cause a monopoly?
No.
But I think, Aaron, I think some of them do that. Like when they might not do that.
Mars does.
They might not do it to our farmers in the U.S., but like, are you talking about Mars, the chocolate company?
Yeah, I just use that as an example where a conglomerate is
No,
formed.
I think that they do subsidize farms that create like the chocolate and the seeds and everything. They do that with those farmers. They do.
Yeah, well, I mean, why can't we subsidize our way into hiring American people to pick these strawberries at $20 an hour?
You know what's ill, Aaron? The minimum wage in Texas is $7.50.
Yep. And in Georgia it's $7.25.
What's the soil like out there?
All over the place.
Deborah with the $3 says Rainbow Kid, the big winner in the chat tonight. What'd he do? All right, let's spin it one more time for the hood, man. So y'all all agree, right? The deportation needs to happen. Is it just a discrepancy on who and how many?
All them niggas.
Yeah. Facts. I agree with Sean. All of them.
Damn. See, I agree, Miss Fantastic.
No, I don't.
No, I said I agree with Sean.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, HIV.
HIV is diabolical. All right, bring this one up.
I overheard somebody say, "Yay, HIV."
All right. Order of all U.S. funded foreign clinics to stop providing HIV medications. Okay, Allie, this right up your alley, isn't it?
It's my job.
Yeah. Okay. The Trump administration. What'd you say, John?
I said, Oprah Alley, pause, Hamp.
I was just about to get off too. I'm tired.
You good, man. You be all right. You only got one kid, man.
Whatever.
The Trump administration ordered a freeze on foreign aid except to Israel and Egypt military aid, with a specific directive of health clinics in foreign countries to immediately stop dispensing HIV medications that have been paid for by the United States. Clinics were told that even if they already have the medication, they are not to distribute them. The freeze was allegedly last 90 days, pending a State Department review. In that time, clinics are under a stop work order. For background, the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, PEPFAR, is a federal program funded by Congress since 2003. The funds HIV medication for people around the world. Patients in 50 countries around the world rely on PEPFAR program for medications.
It's pronounced PEPFAR.
Is it an acronym?
Yes.
Acronyms don't have a pronunciation. It's letters.
It is.
I'm saying it right. PEPFAR. There's dots in the middle.
But they pronounce it.
Hey, you lead a grammar to me. All right. All right. We know your grammar be. You make up in a word in a heartbeat, pattern, and all this other shit. So, Alex, what's your take on this?
It's been a long 2 weeks, or however long he's been in his White House. My goodness.
Well, what happened?
So my job doesn't give funding federally, but my job is under something called the EHE plan, the Ending the HIV Epidemic. And it's a 10-year initiative that he put in place in 2019, and we have till 2030 to go. And we can no longer pull information off of the CDC, off of HRSA, and he's being very specific about what types of services we can provide. So we can't be specific to HIV care and mentioning specific to like prevention for Black women or MSN, men who have sex with men, or PrEP, which also falls into the family planning or Title X initiative. So it's just stop. But particularly in the DMV area, that is also stopping money for something called Ryan White funding, which provides care for people who are living with HIV/AIDS, whether that be housing, whether that be hospital assistance. So it is just a mess, and people are literally losing their jobs left and right. I know our county health department, they only have funding through March. Fortunately for me, my grant got rolled into what's called the BASed for our healthcare. But the other program that we work with, which is the refugee health program, they're losing their jobs. So it is a lot of things that are going on, and HIV kind of touches a lot of the aspects, and then also prevention within our health center. So it's a lot. And this is something that he put in place in 2019. So I'm very confused by it.
I got a question for you. This is it a pause or is it a complete elimination? Because
we don't know because we can't get any information. So literally we had meetings set up last week and they were canceled.
Because I think what he read was, I think, because if from my understanding, anything that has been passed by Congress, which is the Senate, because they control the purse, they control the money. Anything that has been passed by the Senate cannot just be eliminated by an executive order.
Is it frozen though? Can it freeze it?
They can pause it for a certain amount of time, but eventually it has to come back up. But you can't just limit it. That's why Trump is being sued by so many agencies right now, because he has either stopped or canceled certain things. So the Senate controls the purse. They control the money.
So I guess my question is, Alex is speaking on residual effects, right? But why are we paying for so much stuff out of town?
No, that's a whole nother ball game. I can't get into that.
Answer the question now. Can I answer?
Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic.
Go ahead, Mr. Fantastic.
So the reason why we play for this stuff is for government influence, and it's actually been studies done and proven to be subversive reasonings and things to make countries do what you want them to do. If you guys recall, back in one of these countries, in African countries, Obama was trying to force some, LGBT stuff, and he was putting it on with sanctions and money that they already had promised to them, and so on and so forth. In order for you to get this money, you have to do what we want you to do, pretty much. So most of these
leverage.
Yeah, it's leverage, and it's actual I forget the term, but it's like, other than military coercion, that's what it is. It's coercive measures through financial means and whatever, in order to make people do what you really want them to do, which is far deeper than what it is. Again, bro, as many people that it is from AIDS, I mean, why can't you fund your own people? You got the AIDS, we don't. So I don't know why I would give a damn about somebody in another country with fucking AIDS, and I'm paying for that. I'm paying for enough shit over here. We ain't doing enough for the motherfuckers with AIDS here. So I definitely don't give a damn about motherfuckers with AIDS in a whole nother country.
But what about the leverage though? You think it creates the leverage needed?
So saying that this is one of those programs where it wasn't really no leverage needed for the most part. So this is actually like a good deal. This is helping people out with medical stuff. And then people, what they tell you is, and they've actually had Africans say this, a lot of the Africans are coming out with a lot of these USAID stops. Is like they're not really concerned with it, because they were saying all you do in these corrupt ass countries, which that's the case in most of these places, it goes to very, very few people, and it never gets to the people that truly need it anyway.
America is a corrupt ass country. All we have to do is look at what's going on right now.
Oh my God, bro.
Hey, that was Kenya. That was Kenya.
Not the retired motherfucking Air Force guy.
Retired Air Force guy. Have you,
man? Again, you know this.
Here mischaracterized. And
so John Henry, so let me ask you this question, brother. So, and I think you were intelligence too, right?
Yes. Now, what does that have to do with the way you're scaling the narrative?
Well, I'm not scaling the narrative. This has been proven. It's literally a dude that fucking like proved it and wrote everything down. But either way, we go. So, what I'm gonna ask you, John, is if let's just say, our opposition, Afghanistan. If Afghanistan had the opportunity to enforce its will upon the United States, would it do it?
Yes.
Oh, of course.
All right, then. So what's the point in saying that America is a corrupt country, unlike any other in the whole world? Power is what power is, bro. Okay, power is what power is. When you have the fucking leverage and you have the power, this is why we're the first world country and the reserve currency of the world. Okay, I don't understand how people complain about something that you're benefiting from, and that if other people were capable of doing it, they would do it.
What
Well,
is
again,
your unadulterated response, John Henry?
Well, what I'm saying here is that we have conflations. What I'm saying to, I'm not saying that America is the only. That's not what I'm saying, because just earlier, the statement, somebody made the statement about the CIA, the FBI, or whoever being active in other countries, things of that nature. So what I'm saying here is that there's always been a level of corruption to each and every country. I'm not saying or denying what Fantastic is saying, but what I'm saying here is that for us to act as if we have not engaged in the same antics as well would be disingenuous. That's all the point that I'm putting here.
Well, hold on. It actually is not, John. How much money has Rwanda and Kenya given us? So no, I'm right. I'm right. Can we admit when I'm right? It's
but
not the same.
How much wealth have we extracted from that continent, though, bro? Like that's crazy.
What? Not a lot.
We stripping Congo right now. We stripping the Congo right now.
Come on, man.
We stripping the Congo right
A
now.
lot of that dysfunction is caused by
we
us.
stripping Congo or is so hold on. So now we're not gonna do this. Okay. So we talked about history earlier.
Yo, Ham. So I'll go ahead. I was talking. Hold just a second, Fantastic. So again, before we start deflecting, I'm just going to step away. I answered what I needed to, Ham. So if you need to move on, feel free, because we're getting ready to get off the merry-go-round again and start running around things.
Okay, so let me do this then. Let me do this, John. What did you say that you want a direct response to?
Oh, I wasn't asking for a direct response. I was responding that when we talk about corruption, that America, it shows corruption just like everybody else. We're not the only ones. That's all I was saying, that corruption is something that every company, every country that has the ability to engage in, who has the ability to do that or show aggression, does it. That's all I'm saying. Afghanistan example that he gave.
So,
okay,
I understand what you're saying. So you're saying, of course, they would do it. Don't make it right, and it's still corruption regardless.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm. So is it corruption or is it a part of the system? That's what I'm saying. So you're calling something corruption that, again, nobody else has the opportunity to do because they don't have the funding, they don't have the money. Okay, so why they can't do it to us, not only from a military standpoint, because this isn't military. Remember, this is financial support. So it's not the same. They can't do it to us because they don't have the finances to do it. They didn't have the chance to offer it. So it's not the same. Okay, and then furthermore, the what Rob said is just wrong. Okay, America has never pulled more resources from fucking Africa than the UK has, Europe has.
I never said that. I never said that.
You literally just said we're raping.
I said the Congo. I said what America right now, we are funding the rebels in the Congo right now. You got people in the Congo running for their lives because there's a civil war going on in the Congo, and we have a company in there stripping the cobalt.
Yeah,
that's what's going on
the biggest wait. You got 10 minutes.
I got to go.
10 minutes, man. Y'all gotta make it, man. 3-hour mark. I'll buy y'all lunch tomorrow, huh?
Yeah, okay.
That you got Uber Eats where you at? It's easy.
Hell, I'm on the track.
Love to eat.
I don't mind tricking on you, Rob. Ain't no big deal. I got $20. Nah, it's too late, baby. I already said it. It's over with. But damn, what was this? Well, so are you saying that we extract? You're not saying that we extract the most. Is your point?
No. I'm just saying we're extracting all European companies and Western companies going to Africa and pillage the country. That's what they do, especially France.
I find it hard to believe that we're outperforming China. Yeah, I really find it hard.
No, China is the biggest.
Yeah, and Congo included. So what are we talking about? Like,
but we wasn't comparing. We wasn't comparing. I brought that up to say we've been pillaging that shit for how long? We ain't talking about just right now. I'm talking about over 100 years.
It's never been a major. But that's false. Sean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Compared to Japan,
You ever heard AFRICOM?
Hold on, bro.
You heard of AFRICOM?
You keep
Banana
comparing it.
War.
You keep
You
comparing
heard
it to
of
stuff.
AFRICOM
I'm not
before?
comparing it to nothing. I'm saying
We
what
have
was
to,
done.
though.
I'm not comparing it to nobody else.
There's a degree. So, like I said, if you're talking about the stuff that America's done in Central America, South America, it's way more vast than anything over in Africa. Same thing with Japan. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all, you guys are just saying things that are inflammatory or just like, it's like catchphrases, but that's not true.
Well, so let Sean respond. So essentially, the argument is showing that we being United States haven't extracted nearly as much from the continent of Africa specifically, and so us giving aid is just that. What's your premise, or what's your take on that?
So my point is that we started off extracting the number one thing from Africa, people and culture, literally number one thing. Literally, which the ripple effects have been seen for how long? For centuries, right? And so then we not even talking about the natural resources. We don't even just talking about the natural resources. Are you saying that what I just said didn't happen?
No, what I'm saying is this, Sean, and I'm gonna be very concise, right? The number of people that were taken from Africa is nowhere close to the number of people that are in Africa and that have remained in Africa and been born from Africa, brother. That's what I'm saying. Hold on. Do you know that the United States of America has the smallest motherfucking like percentage of people from African descent, brother?
Hey, look, fantastic. Look, this you got to watch Fantastic. He's real smart. So look, what he'll do, I'll say, hey, this thing happened, right? He'll say, well, the number of it. Do you know that the number of it wasn't this? Or compared to these people that did X, Y, Z, it wasn't that. I didn't say no. I said that we did that. I said we took people and culture and resources. America.
No, it wasn't America. See that you got to your lines up not right, brother. That was England and shit, and in Portugal. It wasn't America. America just bought them once they got to the Caribbean. You feel me? So all of the transport and shit mostly was not Americans. And then if you listen to some black people, and I think you too, Sean, there were already some black people here, right? So not even everybody that was already here was slaves. So
Enslaved, you mean not imported?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What Native Americans, not from Africa, up from Africa, but not, transported from Africa. They came here on their own. Shout out to Ivan Van Sertima.
Hey man, look.
Hey, that's my dude.
So what y'all do? Y'all good? It's fantastic. So what's y'all take on the bill? Does it make sense to retract it or the executive order? Sorry.
Well, I think of it like this:
the funding of those HIV programs in other countries.
I think that one of the things he's doing with a lot of these executive orders that are freezing things is he's taking a look, he's stopping, freezing the money, taking a look at it, seeing if these programs are doing what they're supposed to do, and if they are efficient, or if they just wasting money. And as we're gonna see, a lot of these programs are wasting money. So after this 90 days or 120 days, because some of the executive orders are 90 days, some are 120 days, we'll figure out, hey, where the money's going and who's getting it, and if they're doing what they're supposed to do with it.
What you think about this one specifically?
Yeah, so the money was already earmarked. So from the articles I'm reading, I'm trying to find the article right now. No, Cool Nerd, he's not authorized to do that. That money was already earmarked for distribution. You just can't decide all of a sudden, oh no.
No, you cannot.
Absolutely can.
Oh, you
No, you cannot.
Doesn't Congress have to do
a government contract? If you have a government contract,
theme though that we're running
if you have a government contract, if you have a government contract, they can easily tell you your government contract is done.
It's not a government contract. That's the thing.
No, what I'm saying is, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. The programs. Wait, stop. Let me explain myself. The programs get the money, right? That's earmarked, right? They have to they often distribute it to in the form of government contractors. They give my money to government contractors to do the work.
No, they do
That's
not.
what normally happens.
Cool North. No, they do not. For this specific program,
Y'all are fighting for aid money, other countries. What are we doing?
Again,
We
for
arguing.
this specific program for PEPFAR, because I know, because I hired some people that work for the program. So let me be clear. The programs are funded to the agencies, and the agencies hire people like Commission Corp, which is a federal organization. They're not contractors.
They give it to government contractors too.
They're not what I'm trying to say is whoever has the oversight over, it's not a contractor you're handing the money to. You have a organization called Commission Corps, and they're in HHS, they're in DOD, they're in NOAA, they're in these different agencies. And I put it in the back so y'all can look at it. They are the ones that are running the program. It is not contractors.
What are we over?
Are they actually doing what they're supposed to do?
Oh, no, you think they could just take the money back? Essentially, is that what you're saying?
They can't just take the money back because it's already been earmarked.
It's legislated money, right? So would the Congress have to vote against it to take it back?
Correct.
Yeah. So Cool Nerve, sorry, go ahead.
They can't take it. I don't think they can take it from the agency, but it can't stop those whoever the
Cool Nerve, your point is made. When he has these EOs, things get paused, right? So then people can make different assessments and things of that nature. Yes. Go ahead, Alex.
No, I was just agreeing to that. Like, what's the theme is what seems to happen is that he's putting out these executive orders without thinking them through thoughtfully. Like, he's just like, I'm the president, so I can and I'm going to do this. And that's the issue. They're not thought out. So now what's happening is that he's putting these out, and then people are like, no. You cannot do that because of X, Y, and Z. So there's a lot of chaos and shifting that's having to take place very quickly. And that's where the issue is. And I'm saying that from someone who is living right outside of DC. We're seeing it firsthand, being around the federal workers, being around federal contractors. It is chaotic. It is a mess.
And Hemp, as I mentioned before, as you know, I am a DOD contractor. I get my contracts directly with the government, but the thing is, they do not give me the money. Cool, as I was saying, the money goes directly to a funded agency who then will look for the service, and because they look for the service, they will then go out and pay the contractor. However, when that money is earmarked, that money's already gone, so no one's making your point for you, Cool Nerd, because the money, once it goes, it's gone.
In layman's terms, right? You got a general contractor, right? So it's almost, just to put it, it's like a GC. So a GC would say, "Hey, I'll put a bathroom in your house. I'll put a driveway in." The general contractor will take the money and then pay subcontractors to put the bathroom in and do the gravel in the driveway, right?
Yes.
But they already been paid out, and then they find people to do the work that they don't know how to do themselves.
But they can also, but one of the things they can do, because I've seen programs that was done that, right? I worked on programs where it's happened, where you could be in the middle of the work and they can deem that work is not necessary anymore, and they can take that contract away.
But Cool Nerd, the question is, we got to get back to the question. The question is, who has the power of the purse strings, and that's Congress. It's not the president.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is on the micro scale. We're talking about the macro scale. Does the president have the power to once Congress does something, it becomes law? Does the president have the power to undo that? Is the question.
No, but what I'm saying is, though, the question I would have for you, right? Let's put it like that. The question I would have for you is, there's a level in which the executive branch does have power to distribute, right? So they may have the Congress may have signed, and I don't know this specifically, but is it true that Congress signs the money to the agency and the agency is able to distribute it? Or exactly. So once the agency has the power, once it's in the agency's hands, that's earmarked to the agency, right?
Yeah.
They have control over who does what.
They ain't giving no money back, Cool Nerd.
I'm not saying they're giving money back.
You'll get in trouble if you don't fuck around and spend your money.
Hold on. That's what I'm saying. Well, hold on. Let me say something real quick. If I give the money, let's say I'm that agency, right? And I give the money to John, right? And I don't think John is doing the correct job, I can take that money back and give it to Alex.
But that doesn't mean that the money doesn't. That doesn't mean the money ceases to exist. That doesn't mean
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Right,
I
but
said
that
that.
was the whole
I said
premise.
John
The
is
whole
not doing what
premise-
he's supposed to do. I can give it to Alex.
Right, but the
No,
whole
you
premise
cannot.
was whether or not the president can basically undo something that Congress did. That
I
was
didn't
the
say
whole.
he couldn't. I didn't say. I said he can't. I'm saying is that I can stop giving the money to John and give it to Alex if John's not doing the correct job.
To do the same job though. The money's still allocated to what needs to be fixed, built, or
But you do know that the biggest hustle, one of the biggest hustles, is getting a government contract and doing nothing with it. There's a lot of companies that just get a government contract and been working on the same issue, quote unquote, without fixing it for the past 10 years.
People always charge the government an arm and a leg. 100%.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. I want to get Aaron in. Sorry, what you said? I couldn't hear you, Miss Fantastic. Your mic low. Go ahead, John.
As I was saying again, I'm just going to say this and leave it at that. Cool Nerd is 100% wrong. Once the money's distributed, if they don't like it, yes, I'll say that because I own a company that does DoD contracts. I signed them. The way that it works is if they do not like the work that the company has done, then there's documentation that is stated that the company did not do poor work or did poor work. And at the end of that, their services are no longer required. So once the money is distributed, they don't take money back. Yes, make the funny face, make the eyes. But if you worked in that environment and you did contracts directly, you would know that. No one just says, "Oh, I don't want to give me my money back." Because then
that's what I just said.
No, that's not what you said. I said that no one gives out money and then takes it back because they don't like the services.
Yeah.
If it's in your hand already, sure. But they could take that contract and give it to Alex. If you don't, if you don't, let you know.
Nerd, but you're overemphasizing on people getting fired. That's all you're talking about. So
Yeah, but I'm saying is that-
what I'm saying is if I fly a plumber midway to getting a toilet installed, I'm still gonna hire a plumber to install the toilet. The money's still allocated.
What I'm saying is the 90-day period is to figure out who is doing, if the people who are doing what they're supposed to do, the money, the people
You
who are
said
getting
that.
it,
90-day period.
or they're doing the correct job.
You're saying it's a freeze to make assessments.
Yeah.
While the money
what-
can't be distributed.
I mean, it's the exact same thing they did with the SNAP.
Nerd said that
and all
10
that
minutes
stuff.
ago.
Yeah, I think we're getting some things conflated here. So 90-day free, what they're doing right now, what Alex said, yes. Trump cannot stop money that's already earmarked. But because of the fact that they need to stop, we need to get clarification. What they're going to do is what they've been saying is come back and state this money has already been allotted. But they're stopping it because of the fact the EO that he put out was just errant. It was just thrown out there.
Well-
I'm the president, EO for this, EO for this.
So,
That's
okay. So this is his point, though. So, but what'll happen is if they make real assessments on these programs, people gonna start getting fired, and they're gonna start hiring people that really start to do and distribute the money correctly. That's what Cool Nerd saying.
Yeah, or do away with the program altogether. Or do away with it
because of
altogether.
a proper assessment. Like, is this money being allocated?
That's the most
Time
important
out.
part.
What is a
I
proper
think that's
assessment?
less likely.
Yeah,
Huh?
but here's the thing now. The key phrase here is proper assessment. If it wasn't a problem before, but it's a problem now, if we're looking at Elon Musk, someone who was not read into any government program, DOG, that was not created by the federal government, but it was something that was just created because
Neither
Trump
was the Federal
wanted to-
Reserve.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me, by the Federal Reserve. It was not created at all. What constitutes, as you're saying, Hamp, a good assessment? What constitutes that?
Okay, so
Nigga like me going in there.
you misunderstood my point. So the United States didn't do the Federal Reserve either. The Federal Reserve is an entity within itself that the United States adopted. Okay,
it's
so
private.
And secondly, what would be a nice assessment, or I guess like a fair assessment, would be if it's taken away from American taxpayers and it's not benefiting American taxpayers. Again, Hamp asked the question: what the fuck does AIDS in another country got to do with me? Why am I paying for that? That's a fair assessment, and I hope nobody's up here is actually arguing for this. I don't. Hold on, I don't give a fuck. We got we got any LA people in here? I don't know. We got no. Charge my LA people. LA has one of the worst homeless fucking problems ever. Okay, veterans have some of the highest fucking homeless rates ever. Why the fuck are we sending money, millions of dollars, over to Kenya or wherever the hell in Africa for fucking AIDS? When we could be using it here stateside to help American citizens that need it.
Should we stop sending money to Israel too?
Global epidemic, my G.
Yeah,
So
and he actually what's so again, global epidemic. What the fuck does it have to do with here? I don't care about the globe. We're talking about national. We're talking about home.
See, the one thing, Sean, when I hear in that part, right, is these are medicine for people who have AIDS. I'm thinking about prevention to stop a pandemic, right? And so that's where it gives me cause for pause, essentially. And I'm just thinking, like, are the rates changing?
Yeah. So the goal of the program, I just put a link in there too. And so effectively they're gonna keep sending the funding. I put the link in the back chat. It's not gonna stop. Just so y'all know. The goal is to pretty much eradicate it by 2030.
Is it okay? So there's progress?
Yeah. So I put the link in the back too. Look, the thing is too, one of the biggest exports of the United States is democracy. We want them to be, democratic places. We want democratically elected leaders in other places, overseas especially. And so part of it is building goodwill with these places too, not just trying to be a bully. And so anybody that thinks I'm wrong, you just don't know anything about anything.
I know. I just think that it's regime change, and we put in proxies. That's what we put in. I don't think it's.
I literally already said that.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, but that's the thing too.
Like,
But
just
yeah,
like the CIA shit. Yeah,
that's the thing too. But we also want,
I agree with you, Mr. Fantastic, man. High five, brother. There you go. Come on, bro. Damn.
I know y'all ain't saying we don't export democracy.
No worries, Sean. I agree with you, Sean. And again, it's all about goodwill. That's why it's been going on for 30 or 40 years, because instead of one country trying to solve it, everybody puts money towards the issue so that it's a thing that the world looks at. It's called being a worldwide neighbor. That's why these things are necessary, because if we can't figure it out in America, then maybe somebody in Japan, in China, and France can use that same pot of money that they put to help solve the problem.
Right. And
Okay,
also
I can understand. Go ahead, my bad, Sean. And then
and
we
al-
go.
and
I want to get
also,
Aaron in.
if we want these people to adopt our currency as some backup for them or use them in transactions and things like that, you can't bully people into that, bro. These are independent nations. You have to build up some goodwill with some places. Now we see how things like BRICS is coming into play, and they trying to wean themselves off of the dollar and stuff like that. So, you can't bully everybody, bro. You just can't.
You ain't got to bully everybody. You just got to bully enough.
Yeah, I think we could, but I guess I think I like to reconcile it with simply when it seems like we have people suffering here and then we're exporting money elsewhere. But I guess the gains, like you said, like I said earlier, cost benefit, right? So
what the hell what benefit we get from Rwanda and Kenya? They don't even got resources.
they might got gold under there.
What do we get from Israel though? What we get from Israel?
Goddamn thing.
What do we get from Israel? Based on the question you just asked, what do we get from Israel?
Well, Israel is a military ally and has one of the strongest militaries in that region. So
do we need them? Are we still America without them?
So again, now we get into the military part, and I think John Henry can take over for this and agree with me here. Aaron also. Strategic placement and having allies in certain regions is pivotal for having military power. So if you have, again, the strongest military asset in the Middle East, right? That's your ally. And then you're able to surround them on all sides from land and sea and have support from them. That's very pivotal and very important, brother.
The problem, though, Fantastic is right about that part. The thing is,
I never refuted that. That's the crazy part about it.
Well, you asked me the question. You asked me the question, and I answered it. So what do you? That's not crazy at all.
You looked at me like I refuted.
I answered your question. You asked me what does Israel have, and I told you.
So that means we got to get them billions of dollars every year.
I mean,
because that's the context of why I'm asking that. That's why
we giving Africa millions for AIDS. I mean, and they not giving us no military aspects. So I mean,
that was my question though. Does that mean everything you said? I'm the one who usually be talking about that when we talk about Ukraine and things like that and geopolitical interests. I'm the one who be talking about that shit. But look, my thing is, do we have to get them billions of dollars every single year, and do we have to give them reparations? Israel.
Well, I mean,
it's a little much.
We're not still giving them reparations, so that's definitely false. At period, that's not even a thing. Let's not do that.
And
America.
Did we have to
No,
give
we
them
didn't. Actually, no. So what happened was, if you go back and you do the history, and again, Aaron and John Harry can tell me this. It was pretty much I forget what was it, not the Geneva Conventions, but whatever accords was agreed to be, to where pretty much the UN, mostly Germany, paid them. You feel me? Most of the money that Israel got came from Germany, since Germany was the person that was, conquering them or attempting to, right? So
Obama
Americans giving Jewish people or Israel reparations is just a very, very overblown, disingenuous statement that people say that's not true at all.
So did we get
Obama
money?
literally gave them reparations.
Did we get money?
Obama gave them reparations. How?
In 2012, he gave them he signed the reparations for them.
Okay, and he specifically said reparations.
Yes.
Well, what you're talking about with Germany and Israel, it was called the reparations agreement.
Yeah, there you go.
Post-World
Yeah,
War II.
do we give them money because of what they've been through?
Ham,
Who? Germany or who?
Israel.
No, that's a strategic
Partnership. Okay.
Yeah.
Ham, the way from what Aaron and I were both looking at, it says the reparations agreement between Israel and West Germany was signed in Luxembourg on September 10th, 1952. The agreement was intended to compensate Israel for the cost of resettling Jewish refugees and to compensate individual Jews for losses.
Are we a part of that?
Yeah, no, I said America is not a part of that. That was something that was done between Israel and West Germany.
Okay. And we just give them money because we like them.
And then hold up to Cool Nerd's point. That's literally not true, brother. I'm looking at it right now. President Obama advancing Israel's security and supporting peace. On July 27, 2012, the president signed the United States-Israel Enhanced Security Cooperation Act in 2012, which strengthens Israel's qualitative military edge. Okay, so like you said, that further supports what we were talking about from military strategic practices, brother.
Not Israel. I said,
literally looking at it.
hold
on, bro. I literally
I'm gonna pull it up too, man.
I'm looking at it right now.
I'm
looking. Literally gave Holocaust survivors. He literally gave Holocaust survivors reparations,
brother. I'm telling you right here. I'm looking at it.
But none of that is what I'm talking
just
about.
Because that is true doesn't mean the other one is not true.
None of that is what I'm talking about.
Somebody, no, he's addressing when somebody said Obama gave them something. So he's looking at the 2012 act.
So look, the link I put in the back shows the amount of money that we've given Israel since 1946. It's over $300 billion.
And are we qualifying that as reparations?
No, I'm saying why. I said why do we give them money, and why did we give them reparations? I said two separate things.
We didn't give them reparations.
All right, cool. Hey, okay, cool. Take the word reparations out. Why did we spend that amount of money? Why do we give them that amount of money?
Military, strategic, fucking what's the name? Especially
everything wasn't military. It's separated. You see that right there?
Was not
economic and military.
Brother. I'm gonna say it again. Okay. So most importantly, especially after the whole Germany thing, I don't think people understand just how powerful Germany was, like war-wise and military-wise. It was important to have ally and then access to that place for you to also, you know what I mean? Because when you have allies, you know, you're welcome there too, to make sure that you didn't have a re-uprising of Germany. Okay. So it's very, very important that not only United States, I'm pretty sure if you looked at other countries, they probably gave them a substantial amount of money too, again, because it's a very pivotal piece of land place for the Middle East from a military standpoint, bro.
A fantastic. Wasn't you one of the ones who argued against me in terms of us sending money to Ukraine for the same exact reason?
No, and military, that's what I'm trying to tell you. So you don't, and I'm not trying to son you, Sean. So Sean, you don't know the context. So the problem with the Ukraine situation is, again, this was something that should have never been done. Being to like what do they call it? You had pacts and acts that were already in place. And the United States getting involved with that was actually going against the motherfucking pact that United States and the UN had made with Russia. You're supposed to stay out of that. That's the reason why they couldn't join NATO. They kept talking about them joining NATO, but the United States was never supposed to be involved in that period. So sending that money to Ukraine is not the same as sending money to Ukraine. Is not an ally. They're not an ally. And then Ukraine does not motherfucking give us any motherfucking benefit that we didn't already have in Poland and other places and so on and so forth.
So do we only send money and aid and weapons to people who are quote unquote allies?
That's how it's supposed to be, unless you're talking covert CIA.
I'm asking what do we do? I ain't talking about how it's supposed to be.
Yes, we do.
So we don't arm people who are fighting people who we want to be fought. We don't fight proxy wars ever.
Now you're talking about CIA and covert.
Now I'm saying, do we fight proxy wars?
Yes, everybody does. What we saying?
But it's still somebody who's going to benefit you that you give them guns, weapons.
That's
to.
what I'm saying. You're giving somebody that's an ally, so they're your ally in that time.
So who would be more of an ally to us, Russia or Ukraine in this situation?
Russia, clearly.
You think Russia is our ally?
Guaranteed, 1000%. What are you talking about? You
what?
Who would be
Bro,
better.
you are tweaking.
Hold on, you asked
that's why you answer it like that, because you think Russia is more of our ally. Okay,
I'm gonna restate to you the question that you asked me. You asked me who would be the better ally.
That's not what I said.
That's literally what you said.
No, it's not what I said.
He said bigger.
$100 right now. We can bet $100 right now, John.
No,
I thought he said who's the bigger ally right now.
No, he said better. He said better ally.
No, that's not what I said. Aaron and John Henry.
The words that stuck out to me was in this situation. And this situation to me is directly tied to World War II, which means Russia would be the ally because they're the ones that attacked Germany on the Eastern Front, stretching them thin, allowing us to win the war. But that's in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Global politics has evolved since World War II and things have changed around. Now, I would not suggest Russia is an ally. No,
exactly.
Post-Cold War. But in the situation post-World War II, Russia was an indirect ally, I would say.
Exactly. Right, because we would have to assume that fantastic. You know better than the people who make the policy, who sent the money, which is bipartisan. No, I'm serious. I ain't trying to talk shit. I'm just saying this is bipartisan. This shit, like it's just not some Democrats just sending the bread.
Yeah, so but hold on, you do it. So again, you have this thing called, you know what I mean, the military-industrial complex, right? That the people who benefit first are who? Congressmen and senators. And being that, you know, it's been pretty much proven now, and they're going to start giving us information for it to prove that the Iraq war, the whole, you know, weapons of mass destruction, it was a lie. That kind of kills your point in saying who knows better. Just because you're elected to the people and you can vote by, you know, numbers to agree to fucking go to war or to put people and so on and so forth that you don't have to do yourself doesn't mean that you know better at all.
So we should just let Russia annex everything and keep expanding.
Well, not everything, what you already agreed to. So what I would suggest you do is go Google it and understand what America.
I studied it already. I was asking a rhetorical question.
If you understood it, you would be arguing with me. So what I'm trying to tell you is this: Ukraine, the United States was not supposed to fucking do such. The UN was not supposed to get involved with Ukraine. Ukraine started fucking talking all this shit and doing all these things, so on and so forth. And then the US is what was the catalyst to actually have it happen, because they start talking about accepting Ukraine into NATO. Which again, I don't know what the act is, but somebody please put it in the chat, or somebody inform me. I can Google it later or whatever, to where it was already agreed upon that would not happen. Okay, so when the UN and its countries started saying, "Hey, we want to bring NATO in," that is a show of aggression. That is a show of force. So in looking at Russia, spiritually from military shit, take all the emotions out of it. Oh shit, no, we can't let that happen. We're not finna fucking have that. That would literally put the UN at your front door. Ukraine was supposed to serve as a buffer between Russia and the United Nations fucking countries and shit. Okay, it's like hallowed ground. It's the middle place. The UN violated. Okay, so that's why Russia did what it did. To now, we could have just kept it the way it was, and you could have just accepted what I said, so we could have the nice buffer. But since y'all want to fight it, okay, we'll fucking fight. And because you're a little bitty ass country with a horrible military, and you really can't win this war, you know what I'm saying, in the first place, we'll play your game until we fucking beat you by law of attrition.
Hamp. Wait, so just to prove that we actually did give Holocaust survivors reparations, I put the link in that chat. Just and it's from White House. It's from the White House too. So
okay, take a look at it.
Yeah,
man. And what you think?
How
Anything
can we
to sum it up?
Well, yeah. Yeah, a lot of moving parts. I think really what it's just. Do we know about? Do you remember Charlie Wilson's war? How that worked? For the proxy war in Afghanistan, the Cold War, and all that.
Mhm.
Well, now it's happening in the trade sector in Africa with China and Kenya. Really, we know that China has a foothold in Kenya. Like that's going to be China Part 2. But you know what these yellow boxes are doing, right? You donate clothes, it's going to Kenya. Why? Because it's shutting down their number one export, textiles. That kind of thing is happening. It's the strategic application of economic, you know what I mean?
Distribution.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Precisely. Thanks.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Let me read these real quick. We do some final thoughts. We got a whole lot more to go through on that wheel, man. It was only right. The Most High don't make no mistakes. Critical race theory was the one, and that surely hit first. So that made a lot of sense to pop it off, man. We got a whole lot more to go through. That's for damn sure. Rebecca with the $5 says, Mr. Fantastic, moving to that other country must be looking really good after this brain explosive convo. You moving, Mr. Fantastic? What country you going?
After my other son grown, probably.
Where you going?
Who knows? I'll figure it out.
Hey, I heard what's that earn your leisure just bought some land in Ghana for black people to move over to. That's what I heard.
Yeah, you gotta do your due diligence though.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot kind of going on when Black Americans go over. I know a couple people. One of the brothers, he owns a restaurant out there. He been out there for a minute, but he still just be like, hey, Nick, there's differentiations happening too. So, Jay Miller, salute. Yeah, man, I agree with you. This is a great combo. Sean with the $10 says, Hemp, a lot of them programs is laundering money, exclamation point. They mad at Trump and Elon because they're exposing it. You know how you get mad at the police when you get caught? They saving taxpayers money.
It's real.
Sean Brewer with the $5 says, people that took the jab is saying the president didn't think something out is nuts. If you took the jab, stay out of politics. We can't trust y'all.
Again, dead people talking in the chat.
HQ with the $10 says, for the people who don't know why we send money overseas to help other countries so we can stay the superpower instead of Russia or China. Yeah, that's what was said earlier. What's up, HQ? Reese with the $2 says, Obama had higher job growth / median income than Trump.
That's definitely not true.
HQ with the $10 says, the main reason is so we can control the players instead of getting played. What happens if the orange thug alienates the allies? They're gonna come for our power and authority. Aaron with the $5 says, America is funding all the places next to their enemies. If you play the war game Risk, you would understand it. Deborah with the $2 says, Fantastic, know his shit. Dave E with the $2 says, Trump pulling in, pushing. Who's that? BB chair was weak. What's that?
Netanyahu.
Interesting, man. Make sure you hit that like button if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. A dope conversation. I hope people were able to pull what they could from it, and whoever made the best points, go with that. You know what I mean? Or at least, at the very least, do your due diligence. If there's points that you agree with, put it on your own whiteboard or chalkboard and disprove it. If you can't disprove it, accept it. Right? That's how things usually go. Cool nerd. Any final thoughts, kid?
I think that we just gotta some of the things are freezing. I'm cool with freeze it, assess it, make sure it's great. I don't agree with removing CTR. I don't agree with him removing DEI. So I think that there's some good and some bad in what he's doing. Hopefully, all of it turns out for the better. I do agree with the energy policy if we can ever get to that.
Word. John Henry.
So right about now, we have an active coup / heist going on. regardless of what you look at it. Elon Musk is not an appointed official, nor has he been read into anything as far as security clearance to include any programs that have been mandated federally from what's going on right now. So most folks who have not been a part of government, who have not been a part of the military, who have not come up in the structure, or have not worked inside of that particular aspect, like let's say Aaron, myself, and Fantastic, although you see we have varying opinions, will make conversations based off of what is closest available to them by way of who they get their media from. So all I'm going to simply say again is value has no worth unless it's agreed upon.
You don't think he has a security clearance?
Whoa. Final thoughts, big boy. You know what I mean? Sean, any final thoughts?
Yeah, man, we got an idiot in office, man, and everybody who supported him, man, y'all are wild. Shout out to the Venezuelans. He removed TPS. They thought they was protected. They thought just the other ones was gonna get deported, but they can get the fuck up out of here too. So shout out to them Venezuelans down in Miami, all 600,000 of them. Fuck around and find out. This is the find out phase of that. Take them Caucasians too. And yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got, man. Hey, yeah.
Indeed. Mr. Fantastic, any final thoughts?
Trump's got 4 years. He can't be reelected, so he's going for broke as he should. All the shit he said he was going to do the first time, he's doing this time. If you are an American and you understand what America is all about, he's bringing back the American spirit of America. Put America first, worry about the citizens first, and stop the people from getting robbed by the government. Okay? The people run the government, not the government run the people. And if you have a problem with whatever means and methods that he's using to benefit you, you probably need to, put your emotions aside and start looking at it logically. Okay. When you have Elon Musk appoint 6 young people that they doxed because within a day's time, they were able to bring up billions upon billions of dollars of waste. Okay. Taxpayer dollars. Okay. They had condoms going to Afghanistan or some wild shit, millions of dollars in condoms. Well, I don't care about that. Okay. If you have a problem with that, you have a much bigger problem than just anything that's, factually proven. Other than that, man, 1 on fucking 30, man. Hey, I done been jumped before. You feel me? And I did a damn good job. So, hey, man, shout out to me. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron, any final thoughts?
Yeah, a lot of these conversations are polarizing. But I would like to assume no matter what side of the fence you come down on, you're well-intentioned. And with that said, life is filled with ebbs and flows, ups and downs, backs and forths. If it's peaceful for you and if everything is going, predictably well and as to plan, fine, find rest in that peace, but question it. Because unless you wrote the script, somebody is in control and you ain't aware of what's coming next. Conversely, if things have gone chaotic, don't panic. Slow down, think methodically, take things one at a time. You have all the time in the world in chaos, because there's one thing is for sure in chaos, ain't nobody in control.
Word. MC Heavy Tips with the $5 says, hello to the panel in the chat. Abolish the government. I think that it's very important, right? Polarizing, definitely a great word, but I think there's a lot of information being disseminated, right? I think we all have an obligation to figure out what's what, right? Discernment is key. But I think the important thing is, like Aaron said, I do believe that the majority of people who conversed on this panel today were well-intentioned, right? So if you disagree, or if you vehemently disagree, or if you agree, assess both, right? Do your own due diligence. There's only so much we can do over the course of 3 hours, right? While we have so many minds thinking pretty brilliantly, I might add, to try to add to the conversation while opposing one another. So think about that, But rewatch it back, put it on slow-mo and say, oh, I like this point. I dislike this point. Let me vet it, and adopt new information. Once you stop learning, you start dying. All right. I'll see y'all in the Discord. Let's continue the conversation for all the late, how would they say? Late owls, night owls, late
night
birds?
owls.
Night owls. You know what I mean? John, make sure you take your medicine. Okay. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing. I will see y'all on Friday. Make sure you get y'all tickets to Atlanta. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna let Mr. Fantastic be on my basketball team. If not, he will be taking an L. So, you know what I mean? I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.